A Laughlin song by George W. Johnson. As I was coming around the corner, I heard some people say, here comes the dandy darky, here he comes this way. His heel is like a snowplow, his mouth is like a trap, and when he opens it gently, you will see a fearful gap that I laugh. I could study her from Larry. I could study her from Larry.
The Queen Mary is a tomb. The hallways are filled with tossed luggage, blood-stained walls, wallpaper torn and left, half folded down the wainscoting, each tight corridor telling a tale of carnage and violence. The flickering off-white of the ship's hallway lights hum and buzz, doors swing listlessly upon their hinges, their occupants long since gone, only their madness remaining. The ship itself speeds towards an unknown destination. As the dim lights of the Neptune Lounge illuminate the lifeless body of Vic Tenetta by your feet, they paint him in a bizarre orange hue, his wide, toothy grin vicious, despite the light gone from his eyes. You wipe the sweat from your brow, and somewhere deep within the ship, laughter echoes. Petra, you're holding the pistol that you picked up from Vic that you've named after your grandmother. What was its name?
My grandmother's name is Lauren. Or, sorry, no, this is my mama. My mama's name.
Okay. And you pick up the pistol and you put it into your handbag?
I put it into my, garter?
Jan, you are sitting at the piano and you stand up and walk away. How do you feel?
I think he's just shaking. I think he's every ounce of adrenaline and focus was sort of there to not screw up any of the notes and keep that attention. And now there's just like this moment of his fingers are shaking, his hands are shaking. He can't even really focus on anything. He sort of glances back to Vic's body and the gun and can't seem to focus.
Cedric, you walk down from the stage where you were sort of waiting over the light switch to activate it should the moment be needed. What are you feeling at this scene?
I feel oddly calm, as if I feel lucky that everything went as smoothly as possible. And for a split second, I have a glimmer of hope that maybe the three of us will be able to work this out and find a solution to this.
Perfect. A few moments later, you let the nurse out, heading back to the doctor's office with the required battery. And the three of you are left alone in the Neptune Lounge. The man still writhing in his chair, the duct tape still over his grin, as Yan, you sort of suspect he has been turned. And the three of you are standing there.
Should we go check on little Richard? Or...
I think that the nurse and the doctor will be fine. Where's Abdul?
We promised we'd go upstairs with him to the bridge, right?
And Abdul sort of walks back in the lounge and recants what we talked about the end of last episode. And the three of you sort of walk to the edge of the Neptune Lounge and hear a voice on the floor above you coming from the stairwell just outside the Neptune Lounge. And it's sort of a sing-songy rhyme. My tea is nearly ready and the sun has left the sky. It's time to take the window to see Leary going by. For every night at tea time and before you take your seat, with lantern and a ladder he comes posting up the street. And as he says posting, you hear this sort of wet thud of something hitting what you can only guess is a dead body.
I grip my MacGyvered bocce ball sling thing, and I look down at it and drop it on the ground. Wipe my hands.
Perfect. Yeah, so you're standing just outside the Neptune Lounge. Again, you've just killed Vic Tenetta. Up the stairs is the bridge and the sort of high roller suites and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Does this sing-songy rhyme voice, where is it coming from?
It's coming from directly up the stairs, sort of the floor above you.
And these are the stairs that lead toward the front of the boat, if I'm correctly.
Yep.
Okay. And that would be like probably the most direct route to get to the 400 level.
Yeah.
Fellas, now that we've taken care of Vic here, I'd really like to go check on my father. Do you think we could make it upstairs?
Past this person?
Not necessarily. He'd go around.
Which room is your father in? Up on the 400s?
Yes, well, it's all so long ago. My room is 457 and my father is across the hall. 454? Yes. So that's midway down the ship. We don't have to go up these stairs. We can take the lobby set.
The lobby set. That's...
Go back towards the center of the ship after the lounge, through the hallway, and there's the lobby. There's a set of stairs there that leads up to the 400s. So we go that way.
I see. Okay, yeah.
I'm just...
All right,
There's so much I have to know.
We'll check on your father. Yeah, this isn't a good idea going up this staircase, I don't think.
Yeah, I don't really want to encounter anything.
Okay. Hey, Jan, keep your eye out for another good weapon if you see one. I don't know what I was thinking with that when I nudged the bocce ball thing.
How are you with a pistol?
Oh, no guns. I don't do guns.
I'm a decent shot.
Would you like one?
Sure. Would you like a hatchet? And then we can all shift one to the left.
Oh, we could do that. How do you feel about an axe, Cedric?
And I reach over and I grab the axe and I heft it in my hands and give a few small test swings hesitantly. Yeah, I think I could do something with this.
So just briefly then, Rob, Vic Tenetta has a 45 caliber? Is that how guns are called? 45
Yeah.
millimeter?
Words that are often associated with guns, yeah.
Named Lorin now. Its damage is 1d10 plus 2, and there are 10 shots left.
That's a good
Perfect.
gun.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Treat her well.
Loren's in good hands. Go find your father.
And so we head to the rear of the ship.
Perfect.
The ship rear.
You leave the Neptune Lounge and begin down the hallways toward the stern of the ship. The main deck below you was one that was in disarray, but doesn't hold a candle to the state of these floors as you pass through the hallway. Again, the ship now growls loudly as it moves across the open ocean water with haste towards an unknown destination. And as you make your way down this hallway, you can feel the buck of the ship. It casts your stomach in sort of a knot, turning as you stable yourselves against the walls, seeing the lights flickering. Deep red stains drag down the hallway as you walk towards the back of the ship. The squish beneath your feet is off-putting, but you each, now more aware of what you walked into, keep your eyes focused on the stern and continue moving forward. The image of the ship moving is almost unbelievable how much it bucks with each step you take towards the stern of the ship.
Can I just roll a quick spot hidden to see if there's anything useful, just poking my head into the doorways of different cabins as we move through the boat?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there are a lot of staterooms that are open. The question is, are you poking into each one or just sort of giving an ear listen to each one?
I don't think I'm going to disturb any shut doors. And I'm trying to avoid confrontations. So any sound, I'm going to try my best to avoid stealthily.
Okay. Perfect.
But if I see anything, useful.
Yeah, give me a spot hidden.
No. I am far too preoccupied.
Yeah. As you walk by a few doors, you do notice that some of the staterooms are broken in. Great weights thrown against them. Some even look like they might have been shot, the locks. And even peering in, you see the deep red stains leading from the small bedrooms out into the hallways that you walk. And you continue on. Eventually you reach the set of stairs next to the saloon, next to where... I guess it's the floor above where Yan stay. The floor where Yan's staying. You're in 330. Which room are you, Yan?
I'm in 454.
No,
I might have been 331. I think.
Yes, Yan is right next to the saloon. So eventually you approach the saloon lobby, and as you do, you see the table, which is typically used for cards, sort of turned over. Again, blood stains on the back, on the walls. There is what looks to be a headless corpse sort of splayed out behind it, but you each avert your gaze before sort of seeing the full extent of the damage done to the body. The peppering, sort of the recoil, or not the recoil, so the damage done by a gun looks like it's chipped away at the wood behind the table. And you are at the stairs, so you can approach up if you'd like.
Jan, is there anything in your room, maybe, that you'd like to gather? Something helpful?
I don't know about helpful there.
That set of antique machetes?
Don't you have 20 machetes?
It's one for each hand, times two.
For each hand, times two. How many hands do you have? You can duck in your room if there's anything personal relevance that you'd like, or just personal.
I think there's a moment where he doesn't. If anything's happened, any of the stuff in there, he doesn't even want to look at it. It's just let's check upstairs. We can always come back later.
Of course. All right.
Let me check it out first. You guys wait down here, and I'll run back down if anybody sees me.
I love the image of Cedric with an axe.
Yeah, just a hatchet, slowly walking up the stairs, blood covering the front of him still.
Yeah, so Cedric, you slowly ascend the stairs to the top deck, and you see the flickering lights. And as you do, you hear the screams of a man down the hallway above. Give me a sneak roll, assuming that you don't stop and continue sort of peeking.
Yep. I'm going to be stealthy and...
Fantastic.
Wow. A extreme success.
Yeah, you peek above the stairs to see a tight corridor before you that leads all the way to the bridge. And as you do, you see Clarence Turner, the man you bribed, with a grin cut onto his face, drive an axe over and over again into the back of some helpless man who's just screaming wildly for his life. He does not see you, and as you watch the light leave this man's eyes, he pulls the axe out from the back of his head, swings it over his shoulder, spraying the wall with flecks of blood as he does, turns around whistling, and continues to sing as he walks back up towards the bridge, almost on patrol.
And seeing that the coast is clear, I turn back to the others at the foot of the stairs.
Petra is like, what was that? There's a scream.
It's someone I knew. He's going down the hall. It's like he's on a patrol or something. You guys ready?
Yeah, can we time it out?
Just before Jan starts heading up the stairs, there's a moment where he's looking back towards his room, and it's like he's torn up between, oh, there's something I forgot, and just give me a moment. And he runs back to open the door and see if he can find something.
Hurry.
Yeah, and you open your stateroom door, and it's been untouched, pretty much as you left it.
And so there's like, it's one of the few clean places he's seen in a long time. There's all of the clothes he wishes he was wearing right now. Doesn't have time to stop and do that, but he's searching through the pockets until he finds a little box, and he opens it up, and there's a ring in it, and he closes it and puts it in the pocket of the clothes he's wearing and heads back towards the stairs. Okay, I'm ready. I think we can go.
Petra, as you watch this unfold, your eyes sort of switch back to Clarence. You said Cedric, sorry. You said you wanted to time out the patrol.
Mm-hmm.
Did you want to do something
towards the bridge?
Yeah, if you want to, I think that's a great idea. If you want to give me an intelligence roll, Petra, while Jan is going back to his room, you and Cedric together can sort of start trying to watch. I'll let his stealth, because it was so high, carry over to this next peak as well. Wow.
I did good.
You done good. Okay, kid. What were you trying to? What stat are you rolling?
I was rolling intelligence.
Perfect.
Right. Isn't that what you said?
Yeah. Is that a hard
idea?
Extreme?
That's an extreme success.
Brilliant. Well, Guess what? That's pretty good. So I'm gonna say. Yeah, I think you sort of have an idea. It doesn't look like he's just walking up and down the same hall. It's that he's rounding the end, coming down the other hall. And after watching this, he does it, relatively quick, I'm going to say. But after watching him pass once more, you are 98% certain that he's going to continue this.
This is just like in Breath of the Wild, where I'm trying to infiltrate the hideout, and I'm like, oh, this guy's on a circuit.
Definitely.
I know if I crouch down right now and then I run really slow but like quiet, I can get there.
Exactly. But this will work out better than it did in Breath in the Wild, because you'll succeed, hopefully. I'm just teasing. Perfect. Yeah, and you come back and you see Petra sort of walk down from the top steps. Cedric, you obviously see Petra has an idea.
What is it?
So what's our plan?
Well, if you just watch carefully. Shh, quiet now. He's going to come around the corner. Right.
Now Tom would be a driver and Maria go to sea, and my papa's a banker as rich as he can be. But I, when I am stronger, I can choose what I will do. Oh, Leary, I'll go round at night and light the lamps at you.
But see, if we wait just about 10 more seconds, he's going to be just out of sight, and we should run now. She takes off running.
Are you following him at a distance, or are you going the opposite way? Like if he's doing a long circuit on this top hall, right? Towards the lobby. Are you planning to kind of stealthily sneak behind him, or are you going to dexterously try to beat him to the end?
Well, we don't have to beat him to the end. We're coming up the saloon deck stairs, as you said.
Yeah.
And my room is 454. I'm right there.
Correct. Oh, you're going in your room.
Sorry,
that's right.
457. Yeah.
That's right.
So my room's 457. My dad's is 454. We just have to wait for him to go around the corner, and then we have the rest of the circuit there and back
Yeah,
to
no
go
problem.
and check. So once he rounds the corner and he's out of sight, Petra hoofs it up the stairs in her bloody bare feet. Is the door to her father's suite open?
Slightly ajar.
So she just quickly checks behind her to make sure her friends are with her.
Mm-hmm.
And then she puts her hand on the door and pushes it in just slowly. Papa?
You see a man, your father, standing with his back to the door, sort of maybe 5-6 steps into the room when you enter. A lamp askew in the corner lights only one side of him, and he speaks without turning his face. Bunny? He says, and as he does turn, you see the wide grin cut upon his face, his cracked lips pulled up to reveal the sharpened teeth he sports. It's about time. I need your help, Bunny, he says, and stepping back, he reveals Paul, the steward that helped you, in a chair. His nose is cut off. Blood is pouring down his face, and you can see pieces of his lips have been surgically cut off. Paul's eyes are in pain. He makes sort of a guttural scream, but you can tell immediately from the sound that his mouth is just filled with blood. And your father holds a knife in his hand, and he smiles to you. Come, help your father.
What are you doing, Daddy?
And he looks back, almost confused at you. Yan and Cedric, are you in the hall? Have you all entered the room?
I think we'd probably try and get into the room and shut the door behind us.
Yep.
Perfect. Yeah, so you've done that. And he sort of looks at you, looks at Paul, who's like screaming. They're scum, Bunny. They're worthless. So beneath our stature, they don't deserve to share the same air as us. All of them. Don't you see? Haven't you always seen? This earth, it's ours. And they don't belong here. And he turns back to him, and with the knife and anger, he begins cutting away at his face.
I think Petra launches herself at him and grabs onto his elbow, the elbow that's holding the knife, trying to prevent him. No, Dad! No, stop it!
Okay, give me a strength roll. Yeah.
43,
Okay.
which does not succeed.
Okay. Well, he's going to do a counter roll anyway for his strength. Yeah, so the knife just runs deep into this man's face. And in fact, because you're sort of struggling, it actually, you can sort of get the idea that he's been trying to cut away pieces of this boy's flesh, but you actually sort of give him a little bit of a holdback, and the knife actually sinks clean through Paul's face as the gurgling scream comes from him as he writhes in the chair. Cedric and Yan, what do you guys do?
It's awkward because it's not our dad.
Awkward.
Yeah.
So
As he mutilates this poor boy, you're like, awkward.
I kind of hesitate for a bit, but then something that he said about their stature, they need to be people of their stature are so below us, and something ignites inside me, and I steadily walk forward behind him, and I shove him off of Paul, or try to at least.
Okay, yeah, give me a I guess a brawl. And I'm going to say he's not actually going to get to dodge or fight back because he's sort of stuck into something else right now.
Regular success.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, you push him off. It again, he's holding the blade. It sort of drives through Paul. You get the impression that Paul is pretty much dead now. But this man, sorry, what was your father's name? Winslow?
Yeah, Winslow.
Yeah. Stumbles forward and leaving the knife actually protruding from Paul's face as he's just gurgling, tears streaming down his face. And the man sort of falls forward and stops himself on the wall as the sort of rocking of the ship bucks him a little bit, and he turns back towards the three of you. He says, "You, Petra, you walk around with this scum."
Petra, we have to kill him. He's not your daddy anymore. Your daddy is with the Lord now, all right?
No!
Yan, what are you
Petra.
doing?
We have to get out of here. We can't do anything to save him. He's a grinner, Petra.
Daddy, how could you?
He says, "How could I? How could I? I did it for us. I do it for us. How could you? How could you not want to be a part of this? Petra, darling." And he takes the knife, turning it in his hands, it catching the light of the lamp in the corner of the room. And he begins walking towards you. "Petra, darling, I can make you just like me too."
No!
Don't take another step.
Stay away! She's got her gun out now, pointing at him, trembling hands. "Don't you dare!"
And he stops. "Petra, darling." He almost makes like he's... In a way, you get the impression like he's trying to save your soul. Like this zealot aspect to the way he sort of pleads to you. And for a moment, you get the impression that his eyes might be welling with tears. And he says, "Petra, darling, you don't understand how good this feels. I'm trying to help you." And he takes another half step towards you.
Her gun like slowly starts to fall a little bit. What if it's temporary? What if we're all mad? I can't do it.
I don't know, Miss Saltzman. I don't think that we should let it walk.
And he turns towards you and says, "It. Let it walk you." And he lunges at you. And he's going to attack Cedric. So you can do a dodge or a fight back. He just makes it.
Okay, I can fight back.
It is a regular success, yes. So if you're trying to fight back, though, remember, it's tougher to fight back than it is to dodge.
Extreme success.
But you do. So not only does he lunges at you, you manage to fight back. So yeah, tell me what happens, and then
he takes a lunge at me with his knife, and I kind of see it from a mile away, and I duck underneath, and at the same time bring my axe around and knock it right into his knee. And the hatchet blade sinking in, and he takes, that's 1d3, so 3 plus 1, and then another 1d4. 7 points of damage.
Oof. Yeah. You basically take out his leg. At the back of his knee, it sinks in, and he crumbles down immediately and falls to his feet, sort of like crying. And he looks up towards you. He's like, "Petra! No! Petra, do something! You're fine!"
She's hysterical.
And he's like crawling across the floor towards you, Cedric, like swiping wildly for your feet at a severe disadvantage.
I'm stepping back from him saying, "Petra, he's not your father anymore. We've got to put him down. Put him at peace."
Do it! Do it!
I pull out the gun from Victinetta and shoot him.
Okay. I'm going to say, he's not really moving that much, so it'll be a coup de grace. So, yeah, you kill him, and the shot rings out loud and clear. And for a moment, the smell of gunpowder just lingers on the air as you hear sort of the gurgling, removed, tongueless mouth of Paul just sort of let out his last sort of sigh as he drowns in his own blood. And the pool of blood slowly runs from Petra's father's head. Everyone roll sanity.
I'm so sorry, Petra. There was no other choice. We couldn't do anything else.
Yeah, what?
Oh boy.
Yeah, Petra, you take 2 sanity. And
Okey-doke.
Rob, you're going to do a 1d4.
Sure.
Well, I'm going to take, 1d4.
1d4 as well.
I failed. 1d4.
Yep.
We like them 4s.
Lucky for Petra, because if you failed this one, it would have been a 1d10.
Oh no, I failed. I for sure failed.
Did you? Oh, it's a 1d10
failed.
for you.
Oh,
I thought you rolled a
I thought-
35.
What?
I thought you rolled a 35.
I did, but I have a 35, so it's exactly a success.
Yeah, you're good. I was gonna say.
Yeah, woof. Okay. Well, nonetheless, Petra sinks to her knees and starts crawling across the stateroom floor towards the corpse of her father, destroyed as it is, and like lays herself across his ruined body, just sobbing.
Yan, give me a listen roll.
We have to go. We can't stay here.
Yan, give me a listen roll.
I'd love to. Oh, that's not gonna do it. That's a fail.
Yeah. So yeah,
Here's a ring.
you just see Petra crying at the body of her father.
Petra, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to, and I put my hand on her shoulder.
No. No. It's okay. It wasn't him. It's not him anymore. We have to survive this.
If we're gonna do that, we need to go, like Jan said.
Knock, knock, knock. Housekeeping. You hear a voice muffled on the other side of the door, but the knocks are loud and heavy, like metal on wood.
Fuck off! We're busy in here.
And you hear the knob sort of chatter a little bit. Did anybody lock the door?
Nope.
No.
Yeah, and you're sort of pretty close to it.
I'll try and block it with my foot.
You can give a dexterity roll, and I'm going to let you lock the door real quick if you can.
It's like one of those sliding doors, I imagine, right?
Yeah.
Oh, come on. What's my dexterity? Definitely fail.
Yeah, no, you go to reach for it, and the door opens a crack, and you see the metal of an axe head sort of just fall into the door a little bit. As it opens up. I'm going to say you have a second to act. Are you going to do anything? Or...
All of us get a second?
I'm kind of standing back.
Are you out of, like, eye shot of the door, Cedric? Like, where...
I'm in the back of the...
The room has sort of a corner to it, like an edge to it. I mean, presumably you could all hide if you wanted to.
I'm back.
I definitely just shouted at him, so I don't think...
Yeah, you can't, but everyone else could if they wanted to.
I quickly usher Petra, who's still standing a bit bewildered, around the corner.
Remind me, this is whom again?
This was the man that you bribed, who was originally guarding...
Mr. Turner?
Mr. Turner, yes.
So Petra fumbles for her billfold, passes it to Jan really quick, and allows Cedric to drag her back behind the bunk.
Okay, so Cedric and Petra quickly are pulled off camera. Yan, you see the door swing open, and there is...
I'm going to try and turn my face so he can't see whether I'm grinning or not.
Okay.
And just be like, take this fucking money and piss off. Where it's all, just throw it in the air at him so it's sort of floating around as if maybe it's fun and exciting. Doesn't mean anything to me anymore. Who cares that that's tens of dollars floating in the air? And leave it alone. There's a gun in the other hand that's sort of waving wildly.
Nice. And the body of Paul, dead, sort of sits before you with a knife in his mouth. Yeah, that's a cool scene. I'm gonna say, why don't you give me a bluff? With a bonus die, I should say.
Oh, sure.
And
He likes money, right? Or at least he did. When
yeah, I'm trying to think. There should be a few bonuses. I'm gonna say maybe 2 bonuses. I don't really know how that works.
Oh, so I got a 3, so that's very good now.
Perfect.
Was it 60? Yeah. So we're good. We're laughing.
Okay. Well,
We're laughing wildly at this wasteful spending of money and lives.
Yeah, you are laughing. So you have to sort of convince him for a second that you're crazy. So how does that look to Petra and Cedric as they sort of are hid behind some coats and they hear you say this? What do you do in the next moments while Cedric stands there assessing you to sort of prove that you're crazy?
Cedric?
No, sorry. That Yan. What does Yan do? Sorry. I got too excited.
You're gonna cross that threshold and regret it. I just killed Vic Tanetta. I could have killed this guy. Anybody who's been beaten down on us for being so high and mighty. Do you think you're gonna be next? You think you're gonna get out of this? all of this. Oh, look at the blood. Look at it's so good. I love this carnage.
That's good. And he sort of just doesn't even react. He just takes a step backwards without turning and just starts whistling and turns and begins walking down the hall and singing his sing-songy thing.
Lock it.
Nice. Good job, Rob. I'm going to give you a bonus die for that. That was fun.
Good job.
I was really hoping you were gonna pick up blood and rub it on your face or shoot the corpse a few times, just go real crazy with it.
That was good though.
That was
I really like all this carnage.
I love this. I'm laughing. Kind of reminded me of Rick and Morty a little bit. What? With this is great. This is the best thing I've ever had. I love blood. Carnage, give it to me, please. It's the best. That's great. Really good. Yeah. So he walks away. Well done.
I think Jan's pretty slumped against the door as soon as it's shut. It's just been a moment.
Yeah.
And Cedric makes his way out from behind the coats and says, "Has anybody else noticed there's a lot of axes on this boat?"
It's a boat.
There's 2 axes and a hatchet.
Petra walks out from her hiding spot and pulls the knife out of, what's the guy's name?
Paul.
Raymond? Paul pulls a knife out of Paul's brainstem and stashes it on her person.
Perfect.
And it's just let's get out of here right now.
Perfect. And as you duck out to the hall, you see Clarence just turning the corner again. Where are you heading? Towards the bridge?
I don't know. Where to next?
We've got to meet up with Abdul. We promised we'd go check out the bridge with him. I hope he hasn't done it by himself.
Okay, let's go. So I guess we're gonna stealth behind Mr. Turner.
Mm-hmm.
And then as he rounds the corner, make a break for it.
Perfect. Yeah, so I'm going to say he just rounds the corner between 449 and 439 as you exit 457. So it gives you a straight run towards the lobby and towards the captain's quarters.
Yeah.
Where you saw sort of Abdul go. Yeah, and you run down the hall. Again, the sort of the squish of wet carpets, clothes strewn out. You see some luggage pulled apart, and in one of the short little alleyways, you see just people that have been mauled, internal organs sort of just left amok. And you reach the lobby, and as you do, are you heading towards the captain's quarters, or because you wanted to speak to the captain? I remember you saying that.
Yeah, I wanted to see if he was alive, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
let's.
Yeah, so 402 is the captain's quarters, right next to his office, and then connecting room to the bridge. And as you do approach, you see Abdul, who's nervously picking the lock on the captain's room, sort of startled, turn around and, my God, I thought maybe you were that Turner man with his axe. I snuck up this way when I lost sight of you. Are you all right?
Hanging in there.
And he looks to Petra and sees sort of the bewilderment on her face.
She's covered in dad blood.
Yeah. That's dad blood. I recognize it. It's my favorite.
It smells rich, doesn't it?
It's just gold flakes in it. It's like Goldschlager.
I was thinking.
I'm not all right, Abdul.
Well, I hope we can spend some time to figure out what happened here. once we're off this boat. I wanted to speak with the captain, but it seems like this door is locked. I feel like at the
Can I
very...
do a listen roll to see if there's anyone in there?
Great idea. Give me a listen roll.
Cedric's gonna keep watch on the hallways. Make sure
Perfect.
coming.
Yeah.
Where the fuck is it? I succeeded.
Perfect. Yeah, you don't hear anything coming from inside the captain's bedroom. And Abdul says, I tried the captain's office, but the door was completely jammed. It seems like there's something behind it, which, in my mind, maybe means that he's still alive. Maybe he's locked himself in here. I don't hear anything, though. But at the very least, I was hoping while we were on the Osiris, the captain kept a log. Perhaps it could give us a little bit of light at exactly what happened here. Maybe it was the exact same thing. Does anyone know how to pick a lock? What's that?
Or at least when it happened. I don't know how to pick a lock. I could take the door apart, though.
Well, that might be a good option. Does anyone know how to pick a lock?
No.
I can try shooting it, but that's likely to attract more attention.
I think, Jan, maybe perhaps if you can take it apart. You think a mechanical repair type thing?
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe like pry off the hinges or something, sneak that knife somewhere.
Sure. What's your mechanical repair at?
50, so it's not...
That's not bad. That's like it's a mechanical disc repair. Mechanical... Wait.
Disassembly?
Is that a
Roll the
D10?
Piano is kind of like a door.
I rolled the wrong thing.
Oh, okay.
That's definitely a fail, because that's my kind of night I'm having.
We all have XP from Carly, and Bjorn's given me an extra one.
And
so
I did give you a
just
bonus
everyone
die. So if you want to do another bonus die, you
Roll
can.
that bonus die, right?
Yeah, why not?
So I got 81, and
Let's get this door open.
51, so just barely failed.
Well, you can spend luck to bump it up.
So I'm gonna spend 1 luck point, and we're gonna get this door off just barely.
Hot
Nice.
dog! I mean, you definitely would have succeeded by shooting it, but who wants a gunfire and wasted bullet and door that you can't shut again?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Well,
perfect.
the hinges are off, so I don't know that the door will shut again.
But you can just sunk it back into place, so at least it doesn't look like it's...
That's something.
Perfect, yeah, the door... So after a few minutes, you see Yan fiddling with the door, lifting the hinges off, and Cedric, as you are watching the hallway, you see Clarence walking, not even making eye contact in your direction, but you do see him walk by, dragging the axe behind him, leaving thin trails of blood on it.
Back there, Jan. Jan, how you doing back there?
Sorry, it's just...
Is the door
It's hard to keep it all together. Okay. We
go in.
We go in.
Yeah.
Okay, the door's ready. Okay.
We go in the door.
You enter the captain's bedroom. The room is in chaos. Lights are knocked over or broken. There are clothes, books scattered and strewn about. But your eyes immediately fall upon the deep red stain that lays thick and wet on one side of the bed. The sheets are thrown to the floor. And once again, you see the captain's desk, his anatomical skeleton that's now knocked over onto the floor, the captain's hat and coat that stay seemingly permanently around the skeleton, and a portrait of Washington crossing the Delaware. It's slightly askew. Yeah, you're in the room. Abdul walks in and sort of guards the door, leaning it back into place. He says, you three can look around. I'll watch the door.
So we're ransacking the place, looking for clues, I presume?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
I mean, if you
That
want.
painting sounds suspicious. Washington crossing the Delaware.
Yeah.
Did he really do that? Who can be sure?
Not me.
I'm gonna do a spot hidden in here.
Yeah.
What
I'd
is
like
a
to pull that-
spot hidden?
Oh,
That's
spot.
a roll that you can do. Oh, and I got a extreme success.
Wow.
I've regularly succeeded.
And Robbo?
Let's see. I did not succeed. Oh, I did. Sorry, I'm great. I know how to spot hidden. I got a hard success.
Perfect. That is the exact number that you needed to see everything in the room, probably.
Perfect.
So, Petra, first and foremost, you notice blood stains that lead from the side of the bed, dragging into the shut door of the office. Though walking over, you notice that the office door is locked. You also notice the captain's log that lays open on the desk before you. And I'm going to put this in the Discord under Cthulhu handouts. Who is this? This is the captain. Upload. And you can look at that, Petra, in a second. I'm going to have you read that out loud for everybody once I continue this search of the room.
Mm-hmm.
Yan, you succeed with a hard success, correct?
Yeah.
Fantastic. You notice, you walk over to the side of the bed that is deep with blood. And as you look over it, you see something sticking out from under that side of the bed. It looks to be a diary by the captain's wife, presumably. And yes, her name is Ellen.
Nice.
I'm going to give you that. That is also going to be in the handouts.
God, there's a lot of Ellens.
I know, I'm sorry. She was the only Ellen that I named before. Everything else I came up with on the fly, but she is the only Ellen. Justin, you notice both of these as well, Cedric, I should say, but you also notice something taped to the underside of the captain's desk, and it is a small key. And that is everything you see in this room.
I found a diary. Shall I read it for you?
Yeah, let's hear it.
Looks like it's in the captain's writing, likely. Our high roller, Mr. Slim Whitman, has a personal secretary named Magda. I met her when they boarded. She seemed nice enough, and I hadn't thought much of her until a little while ago. Shortly after we stopped, before I was able to meet with Captain O'Rourke, she came by my quarters to speak with me. At first I assumed it was to complain on Mr. Whitman's behalf about the unplanned and sudden halting of the Queen Mary, but she seemed uninterested in that entirely. She also made an odd inquiry. She asked if the cargo section was locked, and if it was, where I'd kept the key. She acted mightily coy about the whole ordeal, and I fear that I may have let on that I don't keep the cargo section locked. But I did tell her that I was in possession of the only copy. That must be the key you hold, Cedric. I cannot for the life of me fathom why she would be interested in such a useless bit of information. In any case, the meeting with the captain awaits. Thank God we didn't hit them. Maybe I'll drop a bottle off to her room afterwards. I don't want our high roller to be upset in any way. I think she was 410. The captain told a horrific tale. I fear that this Velnik character is absolutely insane. Luckily, the sea, while calm, is far too cold to swim across. The boy's in a coma, simple from the shock of the water, or so Dr. Bernard tells me. In a bizarre turn of events, however, Mr. Saltzman's daughter Petra, along with a young man named Jan Katten and the ship's concierge, Mr. Benson, have volunteered to visit the Osiris and retrieve the woman left behind. In truth, I wish it were me, and I admire their spirit. May God grant them strength. In the meantime, I've given Mr. O'Rourke a bed to sleep in as he was exhausted. There's a new entry. Where has the time gone? I woke up with a splitting headache. It seems the entire ship was knocked unconscious for a few hours. Thank God we weren't moving. I cannot for the life of me understand what happened, but whatever caused my blackout, I had dreams, whispers in my ears, a voice. I shook it from my mind, and after speaking with a few people, I had hoped that maybe there was some sort of answer. Alas, there was nothing to explain the event. And when I returned to my office, Dr. Bernard was waiting for me, a grave look upon his face. He brought me down to the cargo hold. A crewman had alerted him to the body of Captain O'Rourke. The captain was splayed out next to a massive crate that we had been carrying. I was told it had contained replacement parts for ships in port side. Said? Yes. But that was no ship part. O'Rourke had somehow woken. I headed to the cargo hold and opened the crate. Within it is, how can I even describe it? A monument, a rock, a pillar. For what it's worth, I'll call it an obelisk, bolded. as that was what Bernard referred to it as, and for some reason it seems right. The image of O'Rourke is still in my mind, his throat cut by his own hand, deep and wide, the alabaster of his spine visible through his open wound. Through the clotting veins and stringy sinew, I could almost feel his cold flesh on my... God help me, I couldn't look away. Something about that image, it scratched something in me. Even writing that now makes me feel disgust and also joy. I've locked the cargo hold and placed the key in my safe. No one should enter the hold, and most importantly, no one should touch the body until we've arrived in Cairo. First Mate Brome is the only other person aboard this ship who has a key to the hold. My head hurts. I think I'll have to lie down. And then, boys, it's scratched in blood here. I can feel it now. Petra picks up the book and turns it towards them, and they can see these red letters. I can feel the obelisk inside me. She's flipping. It's a page each now. They're so big, the scrawling words. I can feel the pleasure it brings me. I will give it what it needs. Everyone will feel it. I can see you. That's the end.
Madness. He must have been a grinner then, taken over.
Yes, I suppose. What are we to do?
Well, I found his wife's diary. It might shed a little light. Okay. She wrote just the other day that he's a maddening fool. He's so goddamn secretive of that safe, he won't let anyone, not even his own wife, go into the thing. I've told him countless times that if something should go wrong, he'd be lost unless someone else knew where the key was hidden. But no, nothing. I can't say anything that'll change his mind. All he ever says is the key is inside my head. Repeats it like a mantra. What an ignoramus. Maybe Mother was right about being the wife of a sea captain, says the note. But did you find that key in a safe?
No, it was on the other side of the desk. What was this about room 410? Who's in that room?
That is I will tell you in one moment. That is Magda, the secretary of Mr. Slim Whitman. She's in 410.
Huh. I look at the tape that was holding the key to the desk. Is there blood on it?
No.
Or does it look like fresh tape?
No, and with your extreme, you sort of get a feeling that this key looks like it is to the locked office next door.
Ah, okay.
Just to save some trial and error.
Damn.
The skeleton that's laid out in the captain's hat and the captain jacket.
Yes.
Just go pick it up and stand it straight up and maybe shake the head a little bit and just on the off chance there's anything going on inside there.
Sure. Give me a listen roll.
I'd love to. Yeah, that's great. That is a hard success.
Yeah. You feel like there's something a little loose in there?
I'm going to pop the head off.
It's pretty securely on.
I
I just want you to colorfully smash it, please.
There's something inside here. Just I'll sort of set the head down and get it propped up on the side of the desk and you know get the back of the knife that I was using to jimmy the door open and give it a good smash until the skull cracks so we can see the.
And it does, and pieces of bone sort of flake away, leaving large shards. And within the shards, you see a key, small enough to fit into a safe.
So this must be the safe key, and in the safe is the key to the cargo hold. So we need to find the safe.
But why do we want to see what's in the cargo hold if it caused everyone to go crazy? Jan, what are you thinking?
Well, if that's where the crazy's coming from, maybe we can do something to stop it there. We can't.
And what happens if you turn into a grinner and try to kill me?
He's right, Petra. I know I'm Abdul, but I'm here speaking.
We know you are too.
I was sent.
Is that you, Dad?
I was sent to guard a large crate in the cargo hold. I have failed my job. I was meant to look out for anything suspicious, and for some reason I thought that meant my vision should be towards the Osiris when that came across our path, but had I been here, my first instinct would also to have been to go to the cargo hold. For whatever was in that crate is extremely dangerous, and if we have any chance in stopping it, that should be our only objective.
So we've got to find that safe. I agree with you. If we're going to get back to land, we have to make sure that whatever is wrong with this ship and these people is contained. Because God knows what would happen if this was unleashed on a city, the rest of the world. Right?
Petra points at the dragging bloodstain that leads into the locked office. Maybe we'd better go into the office then.
Well, the painting you pointed out before, just on the off chance.
No one puts safes behind paintings.
I understand
That's
it's cliche,
ridiculous. She lifts the painting off the wall.
Now I don't want there to be anything there. Yes, there is a safe there.
Is there a safe?
Yeah, there is.
I think we're starting to get into the mind of this captain. This might be good for us.
What do we find?
You're going to open the safe. Or do you want to just hold the key and look at the safe for a while?
I just want to feel triumphant for a few more moments before we see some new horror.
I caress the safe.
Yeah, you put the key in, and with a click, it opens and spins, and it is empty.
Damn it. Come on.
We lose sanity for horrific sights. Do you think that we could like gain sanity for like really nice sights?
Really
Take
mundane
5 minutes
sights?
to look at like a book of unicorns and rainbows.
First off,
Like one
absolutely. Yeah, if you wanted
Painting
to,
of Washington crossing the Delaware.
legitimately, if you wanted to spend some time like talking to each other or like telling each other it's going to be all right, I'll let you have some sanity back. You want to role play it out that like if you can justify a way that you would regain some of your composure and sanity, I think that'd be great.
Yeah.
It's like healing, right?
Cool. Good to know.
But
Now isn't the time though.
no. No.
I say as I move towards the office door. And as I go to put the key in, I stop and I say, Jan, maybe you should take a listen.
Wait, so the key that we found in the skull is for the
Safe.
safe key.
Correct. But the safe is empty. Why? Abdul steps forward. Why would the safe be empty? Didn't he say he put the key in it? And he walks over to you, Petra, and grabs the diary and starts flipping through the pages.
Maybe
Fine.
there's a hidden compartment in it.
And then he opens it up next to you and be like, we can share. I just wanted to make sure I understood this correctly.
Flip, flip, flip. Reading, reading, reading. I had dreams. When I returned to my office, Dr. Bernard was waiting for me.
Well, there was someone asking about I guess they were asking about the safe downstairs. Or not the safe, the cargo.
Didn't he? Oh. Mr. Whitman's secretary, Magda, made an odd inquiry. Asked if the cargo section was locked and if it was, where I kept the key. I fear that I may have let on that I don't keep the cargo section locked, but I did tell her that I was in possession of the only copy. Perhaps she stole it.
But would she steal it and then put the key to the safe back in the skull?
No, it's possible she... And he walks over to the safe. This isn't a particularly difficult safe. In fact, if we didn't find the key, we probably would have been able to brute force this. And he looks. And this has definitely been picked, this safe.
So we have to find whoever took it.
I think we have to go to room 410.
Well, let's see what's next door with the other key first.
All right.
Are you sure? It's got a blood stain and leading towards it. I was fine with doing it as a last resort, but maybe it's not necessary to go in there.
I tend to agree with Cedric here. It doesn't sound like there's anything good behind that door.
Can I do a listen roll at the door?
Please do. Yeah. But you had to make that sound.
That's what listening sounds
Oh, I did such a good job. It's a hard success.
Yeah, no, you don't hear anything.
Come on.
Well, that's good or bad, depending on how you want to view it.
I don't hear anything. I don't know. Maybe you're right, Cedric. Maybe we should just count our blessings and go on.
I mean, what was
Flip a coin?
You really want to go in there?
Oh, I'm curious now.
We know someone who was in this room and brute forced a safe may or may not have also dragged a person over there. Those are two things that have happened in this room. Perhaps it's not in room 410 and it's behind that door is Magda.
And if we go down the hallway again, we're going to have to deal with Mr. Turner.
Okay.
410 is only around the corner. Right. I don't think we'd have to run into Turner if we're quick about it. We don't actually have to go into the hallway.
I feel compelled. Let's go to room 410.
Okay, to room 410, Cedric says as he was pulling the key out of his pocket.
So you don't want to go into this room? All right.
Oh, come on, what are we doing?
We're right here. Let's open this door and then jump over to 410.
All right, let's do it.
You don't have to. Abdul's not going to. Abdul's like, no, I've seen everything I need to. I'll wait in the hall. And he goes outside.
It's 50-50 on new awful horror.
Cedric, come with me.
No, I've got the key.
Oh.
All right, get your guns ready. And I walk up to the door. I turn the key.
Yeah, and it clicks open, and you open. Is everyone entering the office?
No, I'm staying back
guys-
with my gun drawn.
With your gun drawn.
I'm going to say anybody who's in the room with the intention of looking at the office is going into the office. So unless you leave... Okay, so everyone. You open the door to the captain's office to witness the horrific, grotesque carnage of a madman. The dim light of the lamp on top of the overturned desk casts a stark shadow against the oak wood walls. Immediately you see the opened and eviscerated chest cavity of the captain's wife. She lay in the center of the floor, the desk pushed up against the hallway door, blocking any visitor that might be entering. Give me a sanity roll.
Yeah, this one's on me.
Yeah.
I'm going to use Bjorn's XP
To try to bonus your sanity? Sure.
to bonus that sanity.
Success is a 2, fail is 1d6.
Success.
So you lose 2 points.
Boy, oh.
1d6, Justin.
1d6.
Yeah, it's the bad.
Yeah.
I will
No.
gladly re-roll that.
And what's everyone's sanity at, by the way?
All right.
55.
30.
20.
Yeah, you guys need to...
And I back away from the door and dry heave
Yeah.
right around the corner and crawl my way back out to where Abdul is. Oh,
And he looks down towards you and
Right.
says, I think more often than not, it's in our best interest, at least in this ship, to not go anywhere that we don't need to. And he says that more like pained, as in like he's also done similar things, like walked into rooms that he probably shouldn't have.
I should have followed my gut. You're right.
And now your guts are on the floor.
Well, it was a dry heave.
Not much left to vomit up. Are either of you checking, Petra and Rob, are either you checking the room now that you're in there, or just not bothering?
I mean, Jan will take a look around now that I think he sort of feels like there needs to be something of value out of this. I just definitely made a wrong call here. So that he's searching for some salvageable moment out of it. So he might spot hidden or look around or do something if that's it.
Sure, yeah.
That is a success.
You just see the body in the center. The skin is cut away, and pinned to the floor, her insides cut and removed. The carpet sits below the rusting, with rusting metal tools sitting next to her that use to remove pieces of her. Yeah, you don't see anything. Spot hidden would make you do a bit more sandy, but I'm gonna say you're fine.
I'm gonna set Ellen's diary down next to her and leave the room.
Oh, cute. Okay. Perfect. Yeah, you leave. And you're all back out in the hall.
Clarence should be coming around any time now.
Yes, let's wait. And silently, the four of you sort of wait as you hear the madman's poem. And again, it begins to fade, and Abdul looks between the three of you and says, "Let's go," and begins walking down the hall towards 410. And outside of 410, you see Abdul try the door, and again, it's locked. It's almost as if all these are people's rooms. Is everyone all right? He turns to the three of you. Your face is all dour and sick.
Yeah. Petra's face is a gray cast to it.
Yeah.
It's just horror behind every door over here. I don't know.
He says, "Just let me try." And he bends down and he starts picking the lock. As you guys are all like vomiting in each other's mouths.
Abdul.
Oh.
And I just want to try the key that I found under the desk, just in case it's a skeleton key of some sort.
Oh. It's not.
Okay.
It'd be weird, I think. I don't know how comfortable I'd feel with that. Mind you, I guess, no, that's not true. They would have to have keys, eh?
There could be a master key yet.
But if there was a master key, I feel like it would be the key to the basement. Like, it would be the key to the crate.
Bingo. Yeah, that doesn't make sense. Oh, let's say this. You, Cedric, have worked on the ship for a few days at least. You recognize this as a master key to any of the suites, which includes offices, linen closets on the top floor. So you do know that this key will work. It's good middle ground. There you go.
All right. Yeah, this should work. I say as I put the key in the lock and open the door.
Yeah, and
Get ready.
for the first time opening this door, you're greeted with a sense of comfort. It's a small cabin with modest means, a well-made bed, a small trunk of clothing. The occupant seems to have been neat and tidy, and there's no real sense that the occupant of this room was anything other than ordinary. As the three of you enter in, closing the door behind you, just to catch the tail end of Clarence Turner's poem again, and Abdul breathes a sigh of relief and turns towards you. This room is well lit. It's comfortable, and he says, "Let's all just take a moment to relax and get our wits about us."
We lock the door again.
Yes, you each look a bit worse for wear, if I do say so myself, and I could use a moment to just think as well.
My hands are shaking.
Yeah. This would be a good opportunity to get a little sanity regained. Why don't you guys do something role-playing wise?
Cedric, sit down here. And
Okay.
Petra sits down on the bunk and pats the spot beside her. Can I see your wound?
My wound?
Yes, in your abdomen.
I pretty much forgot about that. I wince as I pull up my shirt and show the gash that has just been loosely, my tie has been tied onto it, and it's scabbed over mostly. It's not too deep, but nice.
She walks over to the wash basin, takes a pitcher of water and a bowl and brings it over, and she shakes the pillow out of the pillowcase from the bed, takes the pillowcase and dabs it in the water and starts cleaning the wound. She says, I'm gonna have to get you to see the doctor. Maybe, is it Dr. Bernard? Maybe he can sew you up a little bit later. You're gonna be fine. We're all gonna be fine.
Yeah, we're gonna be fine.
Jan, did you have that medical kit with you still that we brought with us to the Osiris?
Yes. No. When we went overboard.
Oh, of course. That's okay. That's okay.
I just couldn't hang on to it. It was in the But
I've had worse.
there might be something else around here. If
You
Yes.
know, when we, my father and I, when we raised thoroughbred horses, he always used to say that it would be a blessing if they didn't break a leg. You know, not like the actors, because you'd have to kill them afterwards, of course. But humans aren't horses, Cedric. You're gonna be fine.
Yeah, happy about that.
She finishes wiping the dried blood away from your wound and reties some clean cloth around your stomach. There. I think you'll heal up right as rain.
Say that again.
I think you'll heal up right as rain, Cedric.
Oh, sorry, my mama told me that once.
Oh,
Those exact words.
Tell me about your mama.
Oh, she was a fine. She was hard on me. It was real hard. I feel like she tried to toughen me up. Whenever I would be whining and complaining, even if I was justified in my complaints, she wouldn't let me have any of it. But I remember this one time I fell down climbing a tree. I wasn't supposed to be climbing that tree. And she knew that. I knew that. When she found me, I thought she would rip me a new one. But I don't know if it was one of her rare sober spells or something, but she took me with comfort. She brought me back into the house, and she laid me down on the bed, and I remember her doing things. My head was swimming and dizzy, but when she finished healing whatever it is that I'd hurt, she said, "I think you'll be right as rain." It was the nicest thing she'd ever said to me. I kind of feel like when I actually hurt myself, when I actually did something that was obviously causing me pain, that was when her true colors shined. Sorry, I'm rambling.
No.
Maybe-
She may have been hard on you, Cedric, but you turned into a good man.
Well, thank you, Miss Saltzman. Thank you.
Great job. Why don't you each take 2d10 sanity back? That's a minimum of 2 and a maximum of 20. I think that's a good middle ground. And as you're looking around, you see a small writing desk, as you're sort of just casually looking around, with a note, sort of a few pages written in a small pile, laid out, but almost in a way that's expectant. Seems different than the captain's log or Ellen's diary. Ellen's diary you found. It was 2d10, Justin. Ellen's diary was sort of hidden. The captain's log was written for something else. This seems purposeful, almost. Laid out in order. And I'm sharing that and maybe Cedric can read it to us, because he hasn't read anything yet. It'll be in Cthulhu handouts.
Okay.
And great role playing, everyone. So Cedric, yeah, you spot this a few pages stacked neatly.
And I lean over, wincing, as I reach for the pieces of paper. And there they are. Okay. Magda's diary. Hey, I found something, you guys. Oh, but it's not downloading. There we go.
My eyes are having trouble focusing.
There it is. I prop myself up on a pillow. The sea makes me uneasy. Or maybe it's just the way I'm feeling. I'm a bit nervous about this whole endeavor, to say the least. Too many people at risk. So many people being manipulated. Well, not really manipulated. God, I'm starting to sound like you-know-who. No, James is right. Slim Whitman is our ticket to this ship and to Egypt. We need to make sure the obelisk gets there. There's too much on the line. God, everything is on the line. Besides, it's not like we're not helping him. I'm still being his assistant, and I'm good at it. I could have done this in another life. In another life. Ha! Already had too many of those. Boat's taking off now. Wish us luck. I've continued my translations of the Egyptian documents Armitage sent with me, and we have a problem. It seems like blood is the key. Whatever the obelisk, blood activates it. It's what summons the creatures talked about in the text. These mutilated cultists, these things that nearly wiped out civilization millennia ago. There's still more to the account of the Egyptian scribe who documented this. I'm pushing on, but my eyes are getting heavy, and James and Mr. Whitman are still not back from playing poker. I've managed to translate the full passage this afternoon. Listen to this. Giving the obelisk blood is like lighting fire for only a moment before it is extinguished. Its brief illumination is enough to see the darkened corners of the room, the details in the drawings upon the wall, the cookery and pots on the floor. It is enough for the obelisk to grasp one's mind and hold it forevermore. If the obelisk has a constant flow of blood, if the creature's will should remain unabated, if they should provide the obelisk with blood to bathe in, then it will have the effect continually. The fire will remain lit, and any lapse in sanity by any persons, however brief, will cause one to lose their mind to the will of the obelisk and become a creature. This must not happen. I've changed the tense, and a few words are still a bit off, but if I understand this correctly, we need to be careful. And the boat has just stopped. Everything about this feels wrong. I'm heading to the captain's right now to speak with him. I need to make sure that the cargo hold is locked. Now, there's a big gap in the page. No, here we go. I've just spoken with the captain, who seemed nervous. He mentioned that the cargo hold is locked, but absent-mindedly looked towards his safe. I'm considering what to do. James has yet to return with Mr. Whitman. If something's going to happen to the obelisk, I cannot sit idly by and let it happen. I feel torn with inaction. I'm going to try to find James and Mr. Whitman. If I cannot, I'm going to head to the captain's quarters and try to unlock his safe. I think that's where he kept the key. Wish me luck. Oh God, it's happened.
How?
James. Oh, what's the point? Henry, I searched the ship and cannot find you. On my way to the captain's, I passed out for a number of hours. When I woke, the ship was different. Then I heard laughing. It's happening, Henry. What Armitage, Jarrett, you and I, what we've feared ever since my father, it's come to fruition. Luckily, I was protected. I'm so appreciative for Armitage's forethought in protecting us. I hope it protected those card players you touched as well. I have the cargo key, and I'm heading to the hold to see what I can do. If you're reading this, please be safe. I'm going to lock the cargo door behind me. I will not let anyone in, including you, for fear of what they could be. Farewell, Henry. I hope you get to kiss your daughter again.
And we're going to end there for the mid-game post. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the middle of the film. My name, as always, is Mr. Harlan Guthrie, and I am here with the lovely Mr. Rob Deobald. Oops. Ouch. The handsome Mr. Justin Thomas James, and the lovely Ms. Jo Fallak. I'm really sorry about that, Rob.
Lovely. That's sad.
Unintentional crickets.
How's everybody doing tonight?
Woo! Feeling freaked.
Good.
Yeah, it's getting to the meat of some weird shit.
The what?
Ooh.
The meat
The
of
meat.
this.
Some of this weird stuff going on.
Yeah.
Giblets.
The story, the investigation aspect. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, this is, of course, the INVICTUS stream. My name is Harlan Guthrie. This is Call of Cthulhu Part 4. If you have not watched Part 1, 2, 3, or the original campaign, probably watch that. At least 1, 2, and 3, because you're definitely not going to know what's going on right now.
Yeah.
Although you probably could get the... No, you couldn't. There's a lot of details. Names would just mean nothing to you. Yeah, if you are watching this on YouTube, please right now like the video. It makes us feel so loved, and it just makes me feel like a full person.
It completes you.
Yeah, it completes me like a bite of food is what I mean by complete. Not like a
Right.
Yes, not like a whole. Well, a little bit of both. Also, if you are a Facebook user, which probably you are, make sure you join the Facebook group. The Facebook group is where we get together and we chat and we hang out and we have a whole load of fun. It's also, when you're a part of the group, you have a chance to win the most valuable post. That's the post of the week that we sort of distinguish amongst the rest, and we give you a little bit of XP. Justin, who won this week? Remember?
Oh, well, we gave it to somebody new. And, yeah, just joined the Facebook group maybe last week. At least he's not on the XP sheet. Oh, I gave it away. I gave something away. His name is Abe Hughes for his drawing of the Baba.
Snip, snip.
Yeah.
So congratulations, Abe Hughes. That was an awesome drawing. You win most valuable pose.
The way you said Baba sound like Baba Black Sheep.
The Baba.
Baba.
The Baba.
Baba.
Well, you shear sheep and barbers use shears, so there.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Keanu Reeves gif.
The time is a flat circle.
Time is a flat circle.
Just like the Earth.
Just like the Earth. Flat. It's true.
Flat.
It's true.
Sort of society.
Flat Earth. Flat Earth. Flat Earth.
The INVICTUS stream, where we roleplay every Wednesday and believe that the world is flat. I
Two more
don't.
beliefs around here.
Didn't see that coming.
I really don't get that. Anyway. What were we talking about? Yeah, Also, we're doing. If you support us on Patreon, thank you. If you don't, please consider supporting us on Patreon. If you support us on Patreon, you get access to weekly enigmas every Friday. This past Friday, we had a really great one submitted by our very own handsome Mr. Justin Thomas James, which was an audio enigma. This is very difficult. We only had 2 correct answers. And I'm pretty sure the first person said give it to the next person, but they're both sort of the same anyway. So the winner of this week's enigma is Mr. Bjorn Peterson. So
Yay!
close
Good
second.
job.
Close second was Carly, of course. But
These guys are like super sleuths.
super sleuths. I'm thinking if they want it, they can have it. Otherwise, they should spend it tonight. Like make it rain during the stream, not on us. Like gift it out to other people to let them spend it on us. I don't know. What do you think about that?
Yeah.
It's gonna be hard for Justin to keep track of.
Well,
Sounds like a fun challenge.
do it.
I don't even understand what we're talking about.
You don't
Harlan's
have to.
talking about allowing the people with 5 XP for winning the clues to be able to give those XP to other viewers so that they can use those XP whenever they want.
I love that idea.
Great.
Let's
There you-
do it.
that's-
As long as we have, I guess you'd have to email the INVICTUS stream, and then Harlan could pass that information on to me, and then I can put it into the community XP.
And then we get tattooed, and then we do all that kind of stuff.
Then you have to get it tattooed. Yeah.
Can we
Every
just
XP
use-
that I do,
Let's use the
not just
honor
on a
system.
spreadsheet, I have to tattoo.
Oh yeah, you guys know that every time you win XP, you're supposed to get tattooed, right?
Yeah, why do you think my entire back is just filled with lines?
Yeah.
Wait, they're supposed to get tattooed? I thought I was supposed to get tattooed. Why do I have so many tattoos of lines? God, it hurts so much to get them removed every time. as well that someone spends.
lot.
Like,
Makes you really be thoughtful about spending them.
yeah.
Apparently, getting your
Things
tattoos
we do for
removed
you.
hurts way more than done.
Yeah, I've heard that as well. But who knows? It could be one of those lies that they tell you, like sitting too close to the TV makes your eyes cross. Well, Mom, I'm perfectly fine.
Couldn't you just tattoo like the color of your skin over it?
Probably.
Over what?
Like if you tattoo like, you know, a black Mickey Mouse face and then cover that with, you know, my skin color in tattoo ink, wouldn't that just kind of fix the tattoo aesthetic?
I don't know. Anyone a tattoo artist who's watching, let us know. Or anyone with a tattoo gun, come and do some experiments with us.
I like it. That's what tattoo sounds like, right?
Yeah.
Yep. That's right.
One day I'm going to get a tattoo when I'm old enough. Anyway, so all that stuff. Did we do, is that what we need to do?
MVP mid-game post as well.
We did, no, that's Enigma now, remember?
Oh, right.
So yeah, Patreon, support us, please.
Oh,
Or else.
right back.
Or else. Well, now it's just you and me, Joe.
Well, let's talk a little bit about Resident Evil or Stardew Valley, your choice.
Just because this is what we're playing?
Yeah.
I'm loving Stardew Valley. I love our crops.
Harlan and I have been playing co-op mode Stardew Valley for the past
So
while
good.
now.
Yeah, it's so good.
And we're coming up on winter.
I'm excited for
of your-
winter.
Yeah. Well, we need to get that greenhouse up and running.
Yeah, I want to build the bridge to that other place because that sounds exciting.
It's a little quarry.
Yeah, I'm excited for quarry. We also need a lot more stone.
We need so much stone. We've been going to the Calico Desert. I think that's what it's called. So we've
I also
been
got that.
mining.
I also have that thing for the casino. I want to play some casino.
Skull mine, skull
Skull
mine.
mine,
I've never
skull
been into
mine.
the casino.
Well, I'll bring you as a guest.
I don't think you can do.
And we
So.
finished Resident Evil 2, which was good. Sort of finished it. I liked it. I'm also playing Minecraft with Justin and Chris and Star Citizen, and I just started Apex Legends today, which is a game that's free to play. It's like the next Battle Royale. And like I was late for PlayerUnknown's Battleground, and I was late for Fortnite.
I love that you call PUBG its like full Christian name.
Whatever. I was late for this, late for that, late for the Battle Royale. But this is the first time I'm on the cusp of a Battle Royale game, so I was kind of like, all right, I'll try it. And I started playing it, and it's actually pretty good. I'm pretty good at it.
Michelle said that she just donated to our Patreon.
Oh, thank you,
Hey,
Michelle.
Michelle.
Welcome to the club.
you.
Queen Michelle. Queen Michelle.
I like the
I would like to do a little shout out
Please do.
to Johnny Cowling and the lovely people over at Chronicle Brewing.
Yes.
Brewery. I'm not drinking alcohol in February. I'm doing something. Well, I'm not doing alcohol.
Wait,
February. I'm
but are you
doing
not
dry
just...
Feb. That's a thing. But he sent me a care package. My cousin went over there the other day, and
Is this the cousin
Johnny
that
was
we
like,
met?
Eric?
Yeah, this is Eric.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so Johnny was like, "Oh, I'm gonna send over a care package." So now I've got like lots of Chronicle beer in my fridge, and it's just staring at me.
Are you gonna drink on Sunday?
No.
We're playing AL.
Yeah. No, I'm not going to be drinking.
Good.
So I've relegated myself to one Chronicle beer a week on the stream. So
I
can
love that.
share this. So
And
this
this is
week
your
I'm
beer.
drinking the Golden Axe.
Nice. That's my favorite
which
one.
may or may not have come from my last batch.
Yeah, that you took, aka my batch. Whatever. Is no drink February a thing? I didn't know that. Or is it just you doing it?
Dry Feb. I literally was just scrolling down Facebook one day, and
that a
I
real
just like saw for a second the hashtag Dry Feb and alcohol in the same post, and I kept scrolling down. And as I was scrolling, I was like, "Huh, Dry Feb. I guess that means you give up alcohol for a month."
I could do that. That'd be fun. I would do that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do dry
Except I've
March. Because I think I already drank at the beginning. We drank last weekend, didn't we?
Did we drink last? Well, I didn't.
Not you. Joe's not here.
I was like, are you talking to me?
Hey, buddy, did we drink last weekend?
I don't think so.
Good for you, Justin. I'm proud of you. I only drink on weekends, and even that I don't drink on many weekends. I'm pretty.
Yeah, you're not a
No.
You're not a heavy drinker.
Food. Listen, that's my vice.
Every day, gotta eat something.
I literally eat. My fat ass will eat like 3 times a day. It's ridiculous. But yeah, there's lots of stuff like that. I'm reading some of these theories in the chat.
Yeah, I'm trying to wrap my head around that. We should start looking at these. So theories.
Rin, I'm expecting Rin to be a bit more like, huh? I'm hoping.
Spirit realm.
Well, there's a few things there that are there are names there that are like what whoa.
Are they all Ellen?
They're just literally all Ellen. Oh, Petra. Hi, I want to give my XP to Petra because of her hair.
Who said that?
Our new patron, Michelle.
Michelle, let me tell you the secret to this hair. I had to watch a YouTube video before, because I didn't grow up with sisters, didn't have a lot of girlfriends in high school, don't really know anything about hair. The key to doing your hair in curls is before you use the curling iron, you spray the piece of your hair with hairspray before. And then you curl it, and then you pin it while the curl is hot, so that your head is like becomes a little boy hair full of curls. You pin it with a bobby pin so the curls like stuck on your head. And then you spray them with more fucking hairspray, and then you let the curls cool down while they're all pinned to your head. You pull them out, and then you just go ch-ch-ch-ch-ch, and that's the Petra hair. Now you know how to do it.
And you look gorgeous. And you did you did that hair out when we went to dinner one time too. And it was really nice.
I did. Yeah, thank you.
It's real life hair. The secret to my hair is you just run your hands through it when they're clammy, and then it stays up.
Straight up, this is not real life anything. This takes me an hour to do. This face and the eyes and the hair, that is not sustainable look. I do not put that much effort into myself on a day-to-day basis. That's fucking insane.
But this is also not sustainable. Are you kidding? You should see my real non-makeup. This is at least 2 hours of grooming. Yeah. Wait till you see me when I wake out of bed. I look like this.
Michelle, this Michelle, is this Michelle Becker?
Yeah.
Is it really? Oh, well then
Nice.
you're an old hat, Michelle.
You're an old catcher's mitt, Michelle.
That's not what I mean. I just like
Is that what I'm saying? An old hat?
it's been a little while. That's all.
It's been a
For a
while.
while. It's been a dog's age. It's been a dog's hat.
Yeah, a dog's catcher's
What
mitt.
the fuck? It's been a dog's hat. What are you eating, Rob? What are you snacking on?
I have a Honeycrisp apple, and it's delicious.
Fuck yeah.
What the hell? Honeycrisp apple?
You jealous?
I'm so jealous.
We got them from the store at the end of the street, and they are delightful.
Oh,
Who gets an apple from a store? Really? You're making it up now.
I guess it's a butcher shop, really, but it's got a little bit of everything. So
God, I love Toronto.
Does it
Right?
have meat apples?
hamburgers? Well, I don't know what that. I mean, I'm sure you could find something that you call a meat apple. And,
Well, that's what? You don't like a fucking meat apple? Yo, Vinny, throw me a meat apple here. Hey, I got a question, a really important question.
What's a meat apple?
If you were to write pee-pee, I have to go pee-pee. Is it P-E-E, one word, or is it P-P, 2 words? It's been on my mind for a long time.
is hyphen in the running everywhere?
I don't know.
I mean, I'm not a grammar person. I think my gut is one word.
Yeah?
Yeah.
P-E-E, P-E-E? Is that pee-pee?
Yeah. If you're trying to make it
Like, if I'm saying I have to go pee-pee, or Henry, don't play with your pee-pee, is it P-E-E, P-E-E?
So those might be one, because one's a noun and one's a verb there.
Exactly, right? Guys.
Oh, this meat apple somebody posted is the worst thing I've ever seen.
I
It's
want
worse.
it.
I've lost sanity because it exists.
It's kind of
It's not
sexy.
good.
Oh boy, Michael and Brianna.
That is sure something.
Looks
Hey,
kind of
Pete.
like a vagina.
Yeah, well, that's why I said it's a bit sexy. So that makes sense now.
There you go.
There you go.
What about PIPI? PP.
That's like pie.
No, it's not.
What about Pepe?
You can start calling it pie pie, and he would not know the difference.
Henry,
The
don't
same
play
way
with
that
your
I say
pie.
I say bobo, and you say boo boo, as in
Yeah.
oh, did
Who
you
says
get a boo-boo?
Bobo? That's new.
I do.
I've never heard Bobo.
Me neither. Rob,
Ask my parents.
ruling Bobo or Boo Boo for like a hurt.
Oh, boo boo.
Right?
Hey, boo boo.
Okay.
don't know.
Okay. Listen, I have nothing wrong with Bobo, but the thing is, she acted like I was crazy for not knowing what a Bobo is. She's like, "Do you have a Bobo?" I'm like, "What? What's a Bobo?" She's like, "You idiot! Of course it's."
I never
I'm just
said
teasing.
you-
I'm just teasing. No, I just never heard that.
It's a regional thing.
I love the idea though of like, you know, your parents just like, you know, saying things like and making you think that that is
Of course.
what people say, but that it isn't. It's like,
Hey,
oh,
boo-boo."
did you get a Bobo? Or
They're just
"Yeah,
fucking
you're
with
an
you.
Old hat.
Yeah.
You're
Well,
You
old
could
hat is
call
a
it-
thing. I have heard that.
You could
okay.
call him say that he needs to go pie pie.
I think I should just do it now to fuck with them. It's like talking with a British accent around your kids and then one day just dropping it. Just like if you talk with a British accent for like 5 years, well, even now Henry's talking for 2 years. If I just did a British accent every day, you know, and then one day I'm just like, no, we're not British, Henry. And he's like, what do you mean, Daddy? Oh my god, that'd be so cute.
It would be very cute.
Oh my god, I'm so
I
excited.
mean, more people would call him Harry Potter, though.
oh
You're not
god,
my father if you like switched.
could you imagine?
You're not my daddy. You're not my daddy, and then you like feel forced to speak in the same accent, like
He's the one that's like actually pranking me because he's like, haha, you need to say it now. Otherwise, people will think you're the weird guy at the park. Anyway, all right, I guess that's enough for peeping and all that jazz.
It's Bobo, though, for real.
It's Bobo in this house.
Very regionally, yes.
Hashtag.
Hey,
Bobo.
I don't
Hashtag
care.
Bobo.
Listen. I say Bobo now, so there you go, darling. There's.
Bobo.
I bring it
And
up.
he's like, what are you talking about, Daddy? That
And I'm
doesn't
like,
make any sense.
I'll give you a fucking Bobo. Not really. Hitting your kids is terrible. Don't ever do it.
Yeah, you should stop joking about that. I think now that you have a child.
I know. I can't. People are just like, whoa. Did he just do that? Did he just shake his fist in humor?
Just take everything out of context.
What? What do you mean take things out of context? What do you mean by that? What do you mean take
do you mean
things? What do you mean take?
Are you stealing?
Are you taking things?
Straight
Ugh. All right, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, we return to Call of Cthulhu Part 4. Cedric holds the diary in his hand, a perplexed look on his face. You can also do a spot hidden in this room if you'd like. I just wanted to point out that this was obvious.
Yeah.
And
Sure.
while you're a spot hidden, why don't you discuss what information has been revealed?
What did they do to us? Why? They did something that protected us?
They said that they touched us.
I mean, what?
Not clear to me.
Do you remember anything that happened at that card game?
Wait. I must have missed that. Sly Whitman. Wait, okay. So first of all, DM, you said Sly Whitman game
Sorry,
1.
Slim Whitman?
And it's Slim? Okay, Slim Whitman.
I said Sly Whitman in one of the types.
I thought it was Saul Whitman, but
You know what?
I had written Sly Whitman.
I definitely said Slim because it's a joke, Slim Whitman. But
I guess I wrote.
I might. Well, maybe I said Sly then. I don't know. I'm wrong.
Too bad there's no recording. We'll
Well-
never know.
Yeah, guys, delete it.
So Slim Whitman protected us? What is there something in the diary that suggests that? I must have missed that entirely.
Oh,
He did something to
Magda's diary.
protect us. He touched us.
It's totally Sly. I'm sorry, I fucked up. I think Slim Woman's an actor.
But you've written Slim also.
I know. It's Sly in the game, and I wrote Slim because I'm dumb.
Maybe Sly is short for Slim.
Yeah, luckily I was protected. I'm so
Sly.
appreciative of this forethought.
Listen.
I hope it protected those card players.
Slim is his real name, and he introduced you as Sly because it's a Southern nickname. That's the final. So this is accurate.
Yeah. For the canon.
Pick that hill to die on. It's good.
I think it makes sense. SLI, Sly.
She doesn't mention, I hope he protected the card players.
Yeah.
Luckily, I was protected, so I'm so appreciative for Armitage's forethought in protecting us. I hope it protected those card players you touched as well.
Talking about
Henry. She's
Slim.
talking to Henry. Listen,
Okay,
James.
you're right.
Oh, what's the point? Henry, I searched the ship and cannot find you. On my way back to the captain's, I passed out for a number of hours. When I woke up, the ship was different. Then I heard the laughing. It's happened, Henry. What Armitage, Jarrett, you and I, what we've feared ever since my father, it's come to fruition. Luckily, I was protected. I'm so appreciative for Armitage's forethought. I don't know who Armitage is in protecting us. I hope it protected those card players you touched as well. Henry. That's when we saw him. The guy named Henry, he's the train conductor.
No, that's... The train conductor is
Isn't he?
Frank.
Okay.
the
Who's Henry?
guy who was in the division.
Oh yeah. No, because he mistook us for somebody.
Yeah, he said he thought that
Called
we
us
were
Henry. He said, "Or
We
we're,
thought
we're
we
not."
were Henry.
So Henry's on the ship.
There was someone else in that card room.
James O'Rourke.
Well, there was Slim and there was two other people.
James the bodyguard. That's the other guy.
There was the bodyguard who came over with us. That was Edgar, though.
No.
No.
In the initial room, just because it's been 4 weeks, I don't blame you guys. So in the initial room, there was Slim, Sly, Whitman, and his bodyguard named James. And before he left, James stopped at the door and turned and shook each of your hands.
Oh.
And to connect it, when you were in the dream state, there was a man working with trains who turned to you, thought you were Henry, and then you looked at your hands and they were each blue.
So
Only
I
one.
was, and that's James at what the point Henry. Okay, so she's dropped a pretense. James and Henry are the same person.
Bingo.
James,
Right.
got it.
Bingo, bango. So it seems based on this information that bodyguard James, now revealed to be a man named Henry, gave you some sort of blessing that obviously sort of stuck with you and may have aided you in some way. And this might be true because someone in another world saw your aura as someone different.
Is this O'Rourke? Is this James O'Rourke?
No, I'm
No.
just bad at multiple names.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Let's make it as confusing as possible for those
Yep.
following up.
It's going to be my next DM guide.
His name was
Pick
James.
different fucking
His wife's
names.
name was...
Ellen.
Keep you on your toes. But then
Or
again, they're really common
Karen.
names.
There've been a lot of Karens too.
Have there?
Karens, really?
Oh yeah.
I remember a single Karen.
In this campaign?
This in Grimm, there were a couple Karens.
Oh, yeah. I always pick a name
yeah,
to, like,
Karen.
beat to death.
This
see-
is the call of the Karen.
Well, Ellen is bad. James, I don't feel bad about it. Because, like, it's also, like, the most common name ever. Like, these are really common names for the 20s. There were a lot of people that had similar names. But I'm also terrible. So, anyway, did any of you succeed at your spot hiddens?
I did.
I did as well.
How successfully?
Just regular.
Yeah.
A
Regular.
regular.
I guess I
Okay.
should-
Yeah, you see one piece of information.
Each?
No.
I'm
I'm going to say,
Oh, but I'm going to use an XP.
Do it.
Yeah.
don't do it.
Okay, so I guess I will roll another D100.
Next to the scribblings,
And a 30. So I succeed. I got a hard success.
Nice. Well, next to these pages, you also see a sort of photograph of sorts. It's sort of like a line drawing, I should say. A depiction. An artistic rendering. And I have posted it in the Cthulhu handouts.
Ooh.
And Justin, how successful was it?
It was hard success.
Oh, you lucky. You see, something jumps out to you on the desk. It's an ornate music box with a small combination lock on it. But the combination lock seems frozen, unturning. It seems more decorative than functional.
And I said, guys, check this out. And I slowly open the music box.
Yeah, and it's empty.
Wind it up.
Oh, and I do so.
And yeah, it plays a tune, an unfamiliar tune. Well, actually, that's not fair. Give me a listen roll.
Can I give you a music roll?
Yeah, you fucking better.
Oh, I did a critical success.
God damn it.
Well, I'm going to spend 2 luck points for a success, if that makes a difference.
Well, no, don't spend.
But
Yeah, don't
I
spend.
critically
Petra has a
succeeded.
critical.
Oh, sorry, you critically succeeded. You're
Yeah.
laughing.
Yeah,
Never mind.
Haha.
I don't want you to. I don't want you to waste it.
No, I didn't. About the other roll. I'm good.
Yeah, no, it definitely sounds familiar. It sounds a little bit like the song that you've heard a lot of the Grinners singing. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Bum 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 bum. Which is poor singing on my part, but it's too.
And Petra's like, that's the very same song. That's the song that we heard. What was her name? Helen. That's the song that we heard Helen sing on the boat. And then Edgar.
And Tanetta.
Yes, and Tanetta.
All right.
What could it mean?
I mean, what can... It's got to be important, but what could any of us mean? There's so many pieces I don't think we understand. This, how blood and a stone is doing this to people. Once we find it, what do we even do? Maybe we play the song. Maybe we don't play the song. Maybe music has nothing to do with it.
We should find Magda.
In the cargo hold.
Yes. She wrote that we're protected. I think when Henry shook our hands, James, we were protected somehow, and maybe the madness won't overtake us the way it did to everyone else.
Did we have the dreams before we played cards?
No.
The night after we played cards, we all had the same dream. The boy in the water. What else? I wrote a dream of a shirtless man with his tongue out, a butterfly, black water, young boy floating that said Blackstone.
Just like everything else, with a random decision to go play cards, and here we are.
No, Jan.
It could have been anybody in that room that he touched who'd had these dream visions.
No, we were called to do this. This is fate. This is our fate. Don't you see?
Okay, so what are you suggesting? That we go down to the cargo hold and see if Magda's there? Hey,
Well,
what about the boy? Maybe we should check on him. He might be up by now.
Maybe on our way down we can stop by. What do you say?
If anything, reading this diary says we're going to find a stone covered in blood and we should hose it off and see what happens. But that doesn't make any sense.
I'll bring this pitcher of water.
Hey, if it needs blood to feed and continue, what if we threw it overboard?
Wash clean at the bottom of the ocean.
Wouldn't have access to its fuel source, so to speak.
We did dream of black water. Let's consider it. Maybe Magda knows if there's some deeper importance, some reason why we need to save it.
Or we could find James. I mean Henry.
Yes, maybe. We haven't seen him, have we? He's
No.
not crazy.
Well, he must be protected from this Armitage fella.
Hopefully.
Whoever he is. Never heard of him. And I recognize names.
Well,
Let's get moving.
on there.
Let's go.
That's my favorite line. I recognize names. That's my thing.
The important ones, anyway.
All right.
High society.
And Abdul sort of says, well, if she locked the cargo hold door, how can we imagine to get through?
Hold on a second. Who hired you again?
Finally, someone asked me. I was hired by a man named Anderson. Don Anderson.
So you were working with these folks?
No. I was hired to protect a crate, a large, massive, 20-foot tall crate, 6 feet wide. Beyond that, I was only told to make sure that nothing went wrong, that the crate was safely delivered. Anderson did allude to other people looking to serve the interests of this parcel arriving in Egypt, but he did not tell me that I would have any sort of help. I don't know why.
Did you shake James's hand?
No. Of course not. I don't know this man.
He was off the ship when it happened.
Who was
So
off the
was
ship when it
Helen.
happened?
Oh, you, when we went to the other ship, you weren't here on this one to be turned like all the rest of the Grinners.
Right, but-
that's how it works.
But neither were the people on the Osiris, and they were turned. What's protecting him? Did you shake Magda's hand?
I didn't shake anyone's hand. I need to stop smiling because it looks like I'm giving something away. I'm just enjoying myself. No, I didn't shake anyone's hand. I don't. As I said, I felt the reaching into my mind. I think I might have just been successful at combating it. I've spent many years practicing ways to survive torture should I fall into enemy hands. I frankly think I just have a good head on my shoulders. Maybe this protection was just a fail-safe in case you couldn't personally make the ability to. I don't know.
Have you done any work for this Don Anderson before?
No, but he's a famous man in Arkham, very well-to-do. He's an
you heard
older
of the
gentleman
Armitage?
in his late 60s. My apologies?
Oh, sorry, I interrupted you. Go on.
No, he's an older gentleman. He hired me. He contacted me directly, told me that he had something very important to ship back to Egypt, needed somebody of reputable history, reputable reputation, to make sure that it happened.
I'm rolling insight,
Please do.
because I don't trust him.
It's just
And
my
I did
bad
a-
acting.
Bad job.
Sure. I will tell you, though, I mean, you get the impression that he's on the up and up. I mean,
Sure.
well, okay.
I had one more question. Now, Abdul, sorry, go on, Cedric.
Oh, well, I was going to ask whether or not if this Anderson fellow is prominent. What about, have you heard of this Armitage fellow?
Let's see. No. I know Anderson because he's traveled overseas quite a bit. He owns a pretty large company. He's a well-off individual. He used to be an archaeologist, I believe, in his younger years, which I think might speak to the origin of this obelisk as it's so told.
One more thing, Abdul. If it does come down to it, if we have to stop this thing by throwing the obelisk overboard, and you were hired to protect it, will you stand in our way?
And he thinks for a moment. I asked Anderson details about this, which he chose not to disclose, for reasons now that seem maybe fair. It seems like the less known about this thing, the safer one might be. Ultimately, I believe he had this in his possession for many, many years. Most of his life. This obelisk in one of his storage basements in one of his mansions, I'm sure. He believed that this package, this crate, this obelisk, needed to return to Egypt. Had he thought that dropping it to the bottom of the ocean would return it home, or stop it, I believe he would have done so. I didn't get the impression that Anderson was an evil man, more so a man that regretted his actions in his youth and wanted to right the wrongs. And returning this home was part of that.
Did he know the dangers of it, though? Did he know that putting it on the move, exposing it to people, making it available would put lives at risk? Did he understand he was putting the lives of every person on the ship at risk by putting that out in the open?
No, I don't.
Man's as good as a murderer.
I don't think so. I mean, he very well might have. I didn't know him that well, but something about this didn't seem... In fact, no, it's not worth talking about.
Well, it is now.
No, I would need to be persuaded.
You can't just say, in fact.
No, it's a role-playing game.
Listen. We've been through a lot together. We've saved each other's lives on numerous accounts already. If you're going to tell somebody, now's the time. You can trust us.
And you're going to roll charm.
All right.
Aren't you?
Is that okay?
Yeah, of course.
Do it.
Do it.
Oh, and I'm going to use XP.
Oh, too late. You don't need to. And he says...
hard success.
What was your question again? I forgot. Yan, what did you say? Oh, you got angry. You said he put a bunch of people in danger.
That if he knew that it was a possibility and he put it on a cruise ship full of a bunch of people instead of hiring a private boat,
that's right.
Risked the lives of all these people.
And Abdul says, no. In truth, the impression I got was that there may be other people of more sinister intent after the obelisk, and that part of the reason he wanted to ship it in a cruise ship in a way like this was to keep it under the radar as much as possible. It's why he hired me to pose as a regular passenger, to reveal my background, but not to reveal my true intentions. As you'll note, we didn't... Until we came back from the Osiris, I didn't want to tell you that I needed to see the cargo hold. I believe it's because there are others that were looking to work against him bringing it home. And I feel that these people...
We don't have time to argue about the ethics of this now, but your negligence has killed all of these people. And if you weren't armed with the knowledge of how to protect this, that's his fault. But we don't have time for that. We have to go find Magda and fix as much of this as we can. Because
if I knew for an instant that this could happen, I never would have let it happen, and I firmly believe that he wouldn't have either. In fact, this woman's diary speaks to her only understanding the true intentions of this obelisk yesterday at most. This is something that was only upturned recently, I feel.
Except by Captain James O'Rourke of the Osiris.
Yes, and perhaps
he
is...
knew from the beginning.
And perhaps he is exactly who Anderson and myself were trying to keep this away from, for what they know, for what the enemy knew about this thing. And yes, perhaps he shouldn't have transported it with people. But had he known that...
Hold on. And Cedric is standing by the door, and you can hear the singing of Clarence coming down the hallway and walking past the door. And when it gets past the door, Cedric lets out a sigh and says, "Okay, sorry. Continue on."
We don't have time.
We don't, he's right. Listen, my intention is not to hurt anyone on this ship. And I don't believe it was Anderson's either. But that can be debated another time.
Too much blood for that to matter. Intention didn't play into this.
Very well. And he moves towards the door and says, "But the fact remains, how do we get into the cargo hold?"
We go knock on the door and tell Magda we're the card players.
She wrote in the end that she wouldn't open the door for even her friend Henry. And he flips to the diary page at the last.
She did write that, but it's been a couple hours since then. Maybe she's changed her mind.
Fair enough.
There's got to be another key that will get us in there. What if we found the captain? Maybe he has... I don't know. He only has the one key. And she has it.
Someone can give me an idea roll.
I got ideas.
Yeah, you do. You got ideas for days.
Petra looks at the end of the bed where there's a trunk of Magda's things. Magda? And she goes, good taste. She picks up a pair of shoes and puts them on. Thank you, Zia.
Nice.
I got a success on my idea roll.
Yeah, you recall the captain's diary speaking that he told her he was in possession of the only key, but at a later point in the diary, he also admitted that there is one other key owned by the first mate.
Right. The first mate also has a key, if you recall from the captain's diary.
Cedric, you know that the first mate is in 446 on the other end of the ship.
Right. And I let them know this. That's the next step.
I don't necessarily think Jan is wrong. Perhaps we could just convince ourselves in. It'd be down two flights of stairs, however, and getting back might not be easy, meaning it's a lot to gamble on making sure we can get to the cargo hold.
And I turn to Petra.
For three people who can't do that good at persuading.
I don't know. I'd say we just have to go down to the cargo hold and persuade Magda that we're there to help.
Okay. We can do that. Shouldn't be too bad. Hopefully she is protected like her notes said she is. Shall we?
Let's go. And I'm assuming you're going to listen until you hear Clarence pass by again?
Mm-hmm.
Seems reasonable.
Yeah. Let's give me a luck. See how many times this guy can go around before getting annoyed. And just start banging down the doors.
Give you a witch roll?
Luck. Luck be a lady tonight. Oh.
Do you see that, baby?
That's really good. Well done.
Critical.
Fantastic job. Okay. Yeah, you're good. You can hear him like on the far end just hacking away at someone already dead, just splitting up their pieces to consume. And you have a clear shot to the far end of the ship, the stern.
Let's go.
Yeah, so you begin moving low and slow. The thought and realization of the full weight of what you've been experiencing now sort of sitting in your belly as you each think about what this means, what the horror can entail, that blood can force someone's mind to crack in such a way that will make them seemingly unsavable, and that if more blood happens any time someone questions their sanity, any time someone's dealt with something that causes their mind to fracture for an instant, they could once again be turned into this thing. It's a catastrophic event. And you eventually make it to the deck saloon on A deck, and you move down to the saloon lobby where you were, and down to the main entrance lobby to see the barber shop to close, and down to the cargo hold, the D deck, as you exit out into the 100 section. Down here it is just as it is in the rest of the ship. Violent signs of struggle everywhere. Little bits of blood and attacks. Deep scrapes in the wall from the 17 axes that exist on this ship. And the cargo door lies at the bottom of the stairs down a short hallway.
Okay, we need a strategy. How are we going to convince her to let us in?
I don't think
Any ideas?
Listen, and Abdul looks towards three and says, I'm going to go back up for that key. You three try to get in. Leave the door unlocked if you can. And I'll come back down and let myself... Oh, no, lock it behind me. If I don't succeed at the key, I'll knock. But I feel like this is too many eggs in one basket. And he turns and he starts heading back up the stairs.
He's looking for a key that she has.
No.
There's two versions.
Yeah, there's a key with the first mate. That Rob mentioned.
I don't think we need to. We just need to be genuine and honest. I don't think we need to strategize.
It's good. It's good if he gets the key, but we don't want to be opening the door and just going in there when she could be armed as well.
You know what? There's one thing that we have that none of these grinners have done that I've seen. Cooperation. Those monsters are too self-absorbed to work together for any common means besides their own personal satisfaction. I feel like that's a way that we can distinguish ourselves from them. That we want to help other people and we're willing to work together to accomplish something good. And if we can explain that to her, maybe she'll understand that our intentions are pure.
Let's see if she even comes to the door. I'm just gonna knock gently.
That is a good idea, though. I like where your head's at, Petra. Okay, let's do this.
Yeah, so give me a listen after you knock.
Gladly. With dice and roll it. That is a success. It's maybe even a... No, just a regular success.
Yeah, you give a listen and you don't hear anything. It sort of echoes deep within the cargo hold. I mean, just to put in perspective, it's a door. You can chop it down or shoot it open. There's definitely no... I mean, the key would get you in silently. Persuasion would get you in silently. You can get this thing down easily. Well, not easily, but you can get this thing down. It's just how much noise you're willing to make and whether you're able to keep it shut behind you.
I mean, I don't think that needs to be the first option. But we're not hearing any movement on the other side.
Correct.
Should we call out to her?
I think so. Hello? Magda? Can you hear us?
Magda, this is Petra Saltzman of the Northwestern Paper and Steel Saltzmans. I'm here with my friends Cedric and Jan, and until just a moment ago, a Mr. Abdul. Magda, if you can hear us at all, please, we need to talk to you. We want to help. Any sound?
Give me a listen roll.
Okay. Yeah, very good. I did a critical success. No, not. Oh, wait. Oh. Sorry, I don't have my glasses on, so. No, it's a hard success.
Yeah, you do not hear anything. No stirring. No, well, that's not true. I mean, you hear a few boxes shift and sort of the swaying of stuff as the ship is still bounding forward, but you do not hear anything that resembles life whatsoever.
We found your letter, and we want to thank you. And I look up to Petra as I say the words. We want to thank you and the people that you're working with for protecting us. As you might have guessed, we still have all our wits about us, and we're trying to connect with everybody else on the ship who does. And we figure that you down here, maybe you are still in the realm of the sane as well. Is there anything that we can get for you? Are you hungry? Are you in need of medical supplies? If we can help out in any way, you just let us know. We don't have to come in.
Yeah, there's nothing. These are all really good arguments, but I mean, you also are sitting there, Yan, and Cedric, and you know the length of this ship. You know the likelihood that she would even be, if at all, on the other side of this door, listening to you in this hushed tone, would just be really bizarre. You know, like, and don't get me wrong, you're thinking about this as you're saying it, and it's not so much that what you're saying is wrong, but sort of probably what is happening on the other side of that door wouldn't even make it possible for her to hear you right now.
Maybe she's not in there. Maybe she isn't in the cargo hold. Was that in the note?
Maybe she's dead.
Let's go find the other key.
Well, Abdul's already going to get it.
He may be a winner by now himself. Who knows?
Hey, Jan. He'll be okay. He made it this far. He was up at the office by himself for a while. He knows what he's doing. I think we should just wait here until he gets back. Just try to calm yourself.
After a minute, Abdul begins walking down the stairs slowly. And he comes over to you, and he's holding his shoulder. And in his hand, he has the key. And he hands it to you, Yan. Here, take this.
Thank you. I will unlock the door.
And
any trouble?
Abdul?
Yeah, he sort of stops himself, and he you can see there's a bit of begrudgingness behind him, but he says, I was attacked by one of those things. I managed to kill it, but it sort of bit me in a weird way. He was hungry for flesh. It was the first mate himself. And he sort of reveals his arm to show these like bite marks and deep scratches and blood slipping down. He says, I feel fine, but with the nature of this infection like spreading the way it has, I feel like I should stay here until I'm well.
Petra's got the pitcher of water that she brought from the cabin that she was thinking about sloshing over the obelisk. She's like, do you want me to wash it for you?
No, I'll duck into one of these rooms. It seems this deck is quieter. If I don't make it, just find my wife and my little girl. Let them know that.
Don't be ridiculous, Abdul.
Just please, we've seen enough. And he turns to Yen and says, and I hope you understand that. I only did what I thought was right at the time. I hope whatever is beyond that door, that you can solve it and help whoever is left. And he turns to one of the rooms and goes and starts washing his wound.
Go to my room, Abdul. Back room on the left.
Thank you. And he does, yeah. And he goes to the back room, and he, you can see him leave, and he locks himself in. Yeah.
Okay, let's do this thing, right?
Let's go.
With a click, the door to the cargo hold swings open. The crashing waves and the speed in which the boat travels drift away from your mind as you look within the hold. Stepping inside, you see the dimly lit area filled with boxes and crates, some paintings, a few draped vehicles. The hold is massive. It runs the length of the ship. But the large crates near the entrance, they sort of impede your view and your progress. Only a small path between these tall crates is possible, and it guides you like a maze deeper within. Do you lock the door behind you?
I think so, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay. And so you enter. As you pass through the sea of wooden boxes, some rocking slowly with the waves outside, you feel a sense of uneasiness. Until you pass the final box and exit the tight corridor of wood to reveal what you almost hoped not to find: the obelisk. There, standing in the center of the cargo hold, is a chilling image, a vision of terror depicted in stone. Beneath the single light of the hold, it stands at least 18 feet tall and maybe 5 to 6 feet wide. The stone, if you can call it that, almost looks organic. It's an abyssal black and seems to absorb the light around it. The base twists and turns like a snake's hide, and bits of white protrude from the trunk of it like teeth biting at the air. It stretches up towards the ceiling like tree roots, jagged and twisting, reaching out to the sky as your eyes each regard the details of the stone. And eventually they fall to the ground before the obelisk. There lay the body of the man who had claimed to be Captain James O'Rourke. His throat is slit wide, and his blood, though dry, paints the base of the obelisk, him sacrificing himself at its feet. And I'm going to share a picture of the obelisk to the stream.
Does he, so from our
Vantage
preliminary look at this scene, is it pretty clear that he committed suicide? Like, his hand is splayed out and there's a knife 6 inches away, and you know what I mean?
Yeah, why don't you give me someone can give me a law or a medicine roll with advantage. If someone would like to do that, or rather with a bonus die. And if anyone wants to see the image in the Cthulhu handouts, this is done by Rob Donaldson. Again, the handsome, beautiful Rob Donaldson.
I'm gonna do a walk around and spot hidden this shit.
Great call.
Yeah, you should.
I don't really have medicine or law.
I got first aid's the closest I got there.
I'm going to use one of Bjorn's XP that he gave to somebody else.
One of Bjorn's XP. Also, everyone roll sanity. My apologies. This thing is horrific, to put it in perspective.
Dang.
Success.
Oh! Super success.
Okay, no sanity if you succeed. No sanity lost. But again, just to put this in real life context, this thing is massive. It's almost like Geiger-esque. It glistens a little bit, and these tentacle-like tendons that wrap around it jut off it like spikes. By the way, I don't know if you guys end up looking at the Cthulhu handouts as well, but one of the pictures that you found in Magda's room, yeah, there's some
depicted it in a
Anderson.
Slightly different context.
Yeah.
With a name on it.
Well, Anderson is the name of the guy who hired Abdul.
Right.
Yes.
But she has the picture. Well, I mean, hey,
right.
You do your thing. You do your investigation. I'm just letting you know what's up, because I know you found out the name afterwards. So, okay.
I didn't put 2 and 2 together.
Are you being funny?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, now you have. Anyway.
I'm being grateful.
Oh, well. Okay, so you did a spot hidden. What else was up?
Yeah.
Anyone else do anything else?
Is it covered in blood? Other than his?
No, just the base of it sort of has like a spraying of blood, which sort of works to the initial pulse that was sent out hours ago. So, Cedric, as you round the obelisk, hidden from your view as you approach it, on the opposite side of this thing, is a woman. In her mid-40s, she stands facing the obelisk, the whites of her eyes only visible. Her pupils are rolled back, and her hand is outstretched and touching it, frozen to the obelisk. But she seems alive.
Petra? Jan?
Yeah?
Yes? What is it, Cedric?
I think we found Magda.
Petra rounds the back of the obelisk and looks at this woman. What do we do? We can't... Should we pull her back?
Whoa. I don't know if that's a good idea. If we pull her back, I don't know if she's doing something to help. Jan?
It looks like she's still breathing. That's a good sign. She hasn't slit her own throat, so that's probably good.
But she's not smiling.
Well, I wouldn't want to touch her if that's some sort of chain, especially not Cedric. You're wounded. think we've all taken a couple of scrapes. We need to be very careful about our own blood.
I don't.
Yeah.
Did she say
That's
something
very
in her letter?
true. Yes, we
Did she
can't
say
get any
something
more
in her
blood.
letter about? Oh yeah, that's right. About protecting us. Like she's gonna do something. She's gonna try to.
Did
I feel like she's
she...
helping somehow right now. Maybe I'm wrong.
I feel like our goals are aligned, but I don't know that they haven't changed since she wrote in the diary, if that makes sense.
Right.
I'm just reading through the diary right now.
Yeah, me too.
I'm gonna try to find James and Mr. Whitman. Oh,
Or
we
the-
haven't found Mr. Whitman yet.
Or Henry himself. He could be out here somewhere.
Yes.
Couldn't have made it down here yet.
On the way to the captain's, I passed out. When I woke, the ship was different. I heard laughing. It's happened. I have the cargo here, and I'm headed to the hold to see what I can do.
Right. Maybe she's doing it right now.
She must be trying to help.
You can roll something on her, Petra, if you'd like. Why don't you roll
I'll roll.
power
Sure.
or intelligence?
I'll roll intelligence.
Something that I just want something that encompasses your more spiritual side that you've been playing up.
Yeah. Okay, I succeeded in intelligence roll.
Yeah, you get the idea. So you spend a moment looking at her. It looks like she is trying to help. Like she is trying to communicate with this thing, and yet you're looking at her fingertips, and there are sort of small black veins slowly, very slowly, almost imperceptibly climbing more and more into her hand, like growing up her arm. And you realize she's not winning alone, that maybe she needs help.
All right.
I'd like to-
Sorry, what was that?
Are they storing anything like any like kegs of beer, anything, any liquids down here that we could like? I'd like to look around and just find something
Sure.
wet.
Yeah, you find it. Yeah, you find.
I want to wash the blood off the base of the thing.
Well, there's the pitcher still.
I mean, a pitcher of water
It's a whole liter.
is a liter. If they had a barrel
sloshing
I might
around.
feel like
Yeah, no problem. You find
it's
something.
sufficiently flushed.
You find some
Petra's like, hold my pitcher. She gives it to Jan and starts taking her gloves off.
You find some. You find a cask of like some wine shaken. Yeah, you get. I mean, the blood is pretty dried, but you get some of it off. You get most of it off.
She pulls off her gloves and drops them on the floor. And I'm going to roll an occult check and use my final inspiration to roll twice if I can,
Sure.
to see if what I'm about to do might kill me. And I rolled a 13,
And what's your
which is
call?
very good. My occult is 35, so that's actually a hard success.
And to see what you're about to do might kill you.
Which is approach the obelisk and try to help out Magda by also placing my hand on it.
And great use of that, by the way. And great roll. And you get the distinct impression that, yes, touching this obelisk would probably kill you instantly. But touching her would help her in a way that you can't quite formulate. In fact,
So-
you feel pretty confident that if each of you could touch her, or even in a line, you know what I mean? Like you can give her aid in some way.
Petra slowly approaches Magda. Now, boys, I'm not 100% sure about this, but, well, this could help some. And, well, I'm going to try to give some support to Magda right now. And if I don't die, and it seems like it's helping her, I want you to join me. All right?
I don't know if this is a good idea, Miss Saltzman.
Just Just think for a moment, Cedric. I think I know what I'm doing. I think we were meant to be here. I think this is why Henry or James or whoever he is. No, wait. We have the blue hand. We can help. I think this is the right thing to do. And she kneels down beside Magda, and Magda's free hand is just kind of hanging limply in her lap. The other one is touching the obelisk, and Magda's just kneeling down beside her, and she looks over and takes Magda's other hand.
And you two see Petra immediately reel back, her eyes rolling back into her head and her muscles tensing as she looks back, and she is as catatonic as Magda. But you watch for a moment, you study, and you see the small veins on Magda's hand begin to recede, only a little bit.
Cedric, what do you think?
What'd you say?
What do you think?
I'm thinking that Miss Saltzman's crazy.
Everything's been crazy.
Yeah, you're right about that. On the count of 3?
1, 2, 3.
And you all touch Magda?
Yeah, I think just to
Touch the stone.
Don't touch the stone. Cute.
I think grab the sort of the same hand that Petra's holding, just so it's all sort of all three of us touching Magda at the.
Amazing. And whoop, you are bathed in darkness, like something turned off all light. You see nothing. You smell nothing. And after a long silence, you each hear the crumbling of stone in the darkness. It sounds muffled and thick, like it's underwater almost. And eventually, light breaks through. You hear a voice shouting through a small hole in the darkness, and as rocks give way and more light pours in, you realize that you're watching this happen from a perspective that is not your own, sort of like a film. The man revealing these rocks is an older gentleman. He has wire-rimmed glasses and thinning hair, but a grin on his face, not one put there by madness, but one of joy. Despite his sweaty brow and his dirty clothes, his demeanor is excitement. He eagerly pulls the stone until you can see the full picture. A few men standing before you in admiration of you. Why doesn't somebody give me an intelligence roll real quick?
Sure.
Let's say, yeah.
That is a hard success.
Yeah.
Nice.
The wide cavern that you occupy, you occupy as the obelisk itself. And the light from the expedition people below you, their fading torches dancing around the cavern, casting foggy shadows before you, the large stone columns which hold this cave above their heads, it feels massive, as if it were crafted by something otherworldly. And after a long pause, the man who revealed you turns to a strong East European-looking man and to the others behind him and points to you and says, "We found it." "Ja, shall we start?" says the man quietly. Behind him, a sea of people, a kid, a number of adults, and before anyone else can speak, a man wearing a white suit, almost pristine, much cleaner than anyone else, speaks up. "Of course, we need to bring this thing back to Arkham," he says. "Mr. Anderson?" says one of the people to the man in the white suit. He says, "Yes, it needs to come home with us." This scene continues to play, but Petra, you feel something tugging at your mind because of your occult success, which was hard. Give me an intelligence roll, Petra.
All right. Not great. Ooh, just barely a success of
You
my
can spell
60.
luck if you want.
I rolled a 62.
Oh, you did succeed. Petra, you can feel something tugging at your mind. And for a second, you fight with this impulse to watch this scene play out. These men sort of start talking amongst themselves, but you're aware. This feels like when you were in that small apartment, but something about this feels different. And suddenly you become aware. You can feel your mind being forced to focus on this image. You realize that you are being pushed towards this. It feels as if the obelisk is choosing to show you this, but something feels off about it. You can feel it forcing its will upon you. And as you close your eyes to concentrate, you feel like maybe you can break it. You can break the impulse and look away. Why don't you give me a sanity roll?
I'm going to use the
XP.
XP that Colin has given me. Thank you, Colin.
Woo!
Whoop whoop.
Is that from the...
Oh, Jesus
Oh,
Christ.
no.
Oh,
Did you say
no.
sanity?
Yeah.
78.
Okay, so everyone takes 2 points of sanity.
Bummer.
78 and... Oh, that's the lowest.
Yeah.
Yeah, and 88.
But
How much? One?
so it breaks your mind a little bit, but Petra, as you're doing this, you feel like you can look past this facade for a moment. You close your eyes hard, your mind's eye in a way. It doesn't feel physically like you're blinking, but you feel like you're severing a connection. And when you open your eyes again, you still see the image, the cavern, the men standing around it, but it's projected onto a concrete wall, and you can feel something, physically feel something clinging to the back of your head.
I reach around and grab it.
Your hand sets upon something spiny and yet soft, sort of. It almost cuts you a little bit as you reel back, and you can feel it heavy and hard into the back of your skull.
What?
Feels like it's
Something's-
attached to you.
I try to pull it out.
Yeah, and it almost feels like removing like a knife that's been stabbed in you minus the pain. You can feel it sliding out of the back of your mind. The small little wet tendrils sort of sliding out as you pull, and as you do it, it falls through onto the floor, and you step back. This thing sort of whips up above you towards the ceiling, and you realize you're in a small basement, and turning to your left, you see Yan and you see Cedric, both looking at this concrete wall, their eyes transfixed, both with the same thing in the back of their mind.
She just stares for a minute. Yan? Cedric.
They don't seem to move or react in any way.
She walks over and she reaches a hand out for this tentacle that seems to be attaching itself to her friend's brains. And she looks up to see what it connects to.
And it just sort of, the top of the ceiling is dark. This room is still very much like the apartment in that you visited before. Something about this room seems artificial and fake, but
Surreal.
very surreal. And they sort of just zip up into the darkness, at least where yours did.
It makes her gag, the thought of something reaching into the back of her mind, and she just kind of barely is able to contain herself. She starts pulling. She pulls the tentacle out of the back of Jan's head.
And it does, and Yan immediately...
Oh, what? Where? What the fuck? Where are we?
And Yan, you look over to see Cedric in the same state as you were.
What's happening to him?
Petra, you also see the sort of hole in the back of his head just sort of close up as you pull it out too. No wound of any sort on Yan's head.
What happened to me? Where?
Cedric, we're dreaming. We're dreaming and we have to free him. Don't you see?
We have to free Cedric. Yeah. Okay, we can. Do we just pull on it? The thing in his head?
Yes. Yes, pull it out.
Okay. Oh god.
And it slides out again, that same feeling.
Cedric, Are you okay?
Hey! Oh, what? Oh, Jan. Oh, Petra. Where are we?
We're
Look,
I
dreaming.
don't know.
Looking around, you seem to be in a warm cellar. Humidity permeates the stone walls. You can feel the warmth. Bits of broken glass crunch below you. The sickly sweet smell of iron is almost palpable. And you do see now, as your eyes adjust to the dim light, there are a set of stairs off to one side, but they are broken and almost impassable.
Is the movie of the reveal of the obelisk still playing on the wall?
It is. You can't hear anything, and it just sort of continues playing a similar scene over. There's just men sort of standing below, people pulling rocks
I
down.
imagine it's moving like slightly too fast.
Yeah.
Moving pictures.
Exactly.
That's funny.
Yeah. So give me no, sorry. In the far, so you're starting to see this room now in
Yeah,
light.
the three of us are sort of like drowsily turning around and
So in one corner of this, it's a perfectly square room. In one corner, though, it sort of juts off a little bit, about 6 feet wide and maybe 3 to 4 feet deep. But the ceiling is about 5 feet high. You actually have to duck under it, and it just seems to end there. It doesn't seem to go any further. It looks to be maybe an old fireplace. In the far corner of this room, you see a writing desk made of old wood. Cobwebs cover most of the legs, and sitting squarely in the center, you see what looks to be an oddly shaped typewriter.
what is it shaped like?
You can't quite see. Again, it's sort of just on the cusp of your vision. There's only a dim light coming through the broken stairs above.
And you said like the ceiling of this place is too dark to really discern. Everything still has that very dreamlike quality to it.
Exactly.
But the three of us are distinct beings right now.
Yes.
Okay.
It's good to check in on that every once in a
I just need to make sure that I'm my own entity.
Great question. So do you approach, I'm assuming? I want
Yeah,
to give
let's
you
look at the-
free reign here. I don't want to push you in any direction.
I feel like Petra's been doing a lot of like, I'll do it. So I sort of want to let.
Yeah, I'll stagger towards the desk and the typewriter, just sort of taking real tentative steps, kind of trying to get oriented and feel
Perfect.
feel real.
Yeah, you sort of squint at the darkness as you approach the table, and what you see almost makes you reel back in horror. It looks to be a dead crow that's been taken apart and sewn back together with wire and metal pieces somehow built into the typewriter.
Oh, what the hell?
The lifeless eyes reflect the dots of light from you as you approach it. Its beak is bent upwards as if it were broken and taped back together in a horrid fashion.
Is there a paper in the typewriter?
There is. And there is
Typing on the paper?
no.
Ooh, can we type on it?
Yes.
What would we ask?
I'm going to type hello.
Yeah, so you press it and you press H and the letter L goes up. You press E and the letter A goes up. You press L
Oh,
and the letter C goes up. You press L again and the letter K goes up. And you press O and the letter G goes up.
is it spelling something?
Yeah, I'll type it for you.
Yes, please. LACKG. Lack.
Don't look at the chat, please. They're ruining it all.
Okay.
Not ruining it all. They're just...
I mean, I read that it was a place that is someone's basement, but I don't have any of that knowledge, so
Good.
I can't metagame.
No, but they're telling you what this typewriter is going to say. So that's the
okay.
first thing. And I'm just going to say you continue typing whatever you want to type on it. And eventually it seems to be just a bunch of jumbled letters. This is what you type out after smashing the keyboard a few times.
black goat comes. The black goat comes.
And the minute you say that, the three of you are crowded around the typewriter. You see the letters sort of shake in the darkness and rearrange. And it says, "The Black Stone." And you can hear a little clink of metal. The actual ribbon that's moving as you're typing it has revealed a small key that was slid under the typewriter.
Put that in my inventory.
Cha-ching!
Yeah. This is a terrifying machine.
Black.
What does it mean the black goat comes?
And it rearranged to say Blackstone as well?
No.
Yeah, and now the typewriter just says "The Black Stone."
Oh, the black stone.
What do you think that key's for?
Well, I don't know, but I feel like it belongs in reality, just like we do.
You can give me a spot hidden if you want.
I'm gonna take a look around.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
We're in a basement, right?
Correct.
Okay. Oh. Too many windows open. There we go.
Too much carbon monoxide.
All right, and extreme success.
Yeah, you realize that the small sort of like thing that's hanging low in the one corner of this room looks like it might have something underneath it.
What's that? Sorry.
Yeah, you walk over and bend down, and it sort of looks like a chimney, but it actually is a door with a key lock on it.
Try the key over here, I say to Petra.
It's like a little attic hole, like in the ceiling of this bulkhead, almost.
Exactly. And in fact, as you put the key in, you can hear it unlock with a click and let the hatch drop as a ladder comes out. And you see up into what looks like a sun-bathed attic.
Oh. Well, this must be the way out.
After you, Miss Petra.
All
Go
right.
first if you want.
No, I'll go. Follow me.
Climbing
She heads up.
Climbing up, you're bathed in sunlight and sweltering heat in what looks to be an attic. But immediately your stomach drops as you see the body of a man hanging from the rafters. The stench is muted as the sunlight that is currently shining through the large attic windows has dried the corpse out considerably. The body looks as though it is a man, dressed finely. The room itself looks to be a common room of sorts, almost like a top floor of a house. But you do see a small doorway beyond this man leading to a bedroom.
After you, Cedric.
All right. And Cedric starts climbing up, rung by rung.
And you...
Does this corpse... Are they wearing clothes?
Yes.
Is it from a time period I recognize? Is it
Yeah.
modern day clothes?
Yes. I would say, like modern day, like 1920s. It looks like...
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I mean, I would say it's more 1900s, maybe late 1890s.
So it's not fashionable.
No, it's not like flapper era at all. No.
Okay.
Is it a white
Good to know.
suit?
No, it is not. Good question, Roland.
Okay.
So yeah, you push past this body, Cedric, and you put your hand on the door to the next room and open it up. And it looks to be a bedroom for a young girl. You step in and notice that while the world outside this room is scorching hot, this one seems colder. Even from the doorway, you can see your breath slightly cloud as you exhale. The dust-laden furniture of this room looks like it's been untouched for years, and the once majestic four-posted canopy bed now looks to be made more of dust than cobwebs, and cobwebs than the fine mahogany it is. And as your eyes regard these things, they stop on a woman in her mid-40s, the woman that you know to be Magda, and she looks at you. How are you here?
We found you in the cargo hold of the ship. Petra said you needed help. Guys, get in here.
What'd you find, Cedric?
Yes.
And you each enter to see the woman standing before you with a perplexed look on her face. She looks like she's been sitting on the dust-covered bed, and she sort of stands up at you.
You're Magda.
That is the name that I was using, but my real name is Anna. Anna Stanzik. I can't... How did you... Were you the ones that Henry touched?
Yes.
Yeah, he was using the name James at the time, and then
Yes.
we went to the Osiris, and now we're here. Well, we came back, and it's been awful.
We both decided to use pseudonyms for this trip in case something went wrong. We have a history of investigating these things. Wow, you must be in the obelisk as well, in the dream world with me. But you're not...
We've come to help you.
Thank you. I need help. We need to get out of this world. And she sort of looks longingly at the room. This was my room when I was a little girl.
Who's the man?
The man out there.
Yes.
An unfortunate soul. Someone that my father killed, dressed in his clothing, and hung from the rafters in order to dissuade any interested people from finding his body. This obelisk that we are now all working against, it has been in my family for a long time. My father, Conrad, when we came over from Europe, he was hired to watch it on a ship transporting it back from Egypt, the mid-1880s, when I was just a baby, a young girl. He was infected in some way. It broke his mind. It took a long time for him to finally snap. We came here to the United States, started a new life, lived in a home together, but he was never right. The obelisk, it got into him, wanted him to do things. I thought for a long time that maybe it was something else that had drove him mad, but no, he murdered my mother and tried to kill me and my brother. Had we not left, I don't know what would have happened. But this was a long time ago. This was a long time ago. She shakes her head. The obelisk is a powerful, powerful thing, not from this world. You must help me stop it.
How do we do that? What do you need?
These creatures that it changes, the ones that have the grins on the bottom of their faces, they want to provide it with blood, sustenance. If it gets this, then it will turn anybody mad. Anyone in the... God, I don't know how far it will reach. But beyond that, I fear that this obelisk is so much more than that. I feel like it is just the start. There are people wanting it, to activate it in some way beyond just giving it blood. And for a moment you can hear the creaking of the ship through this dream world, and the attic sort of vibrates as you each sort of look towards a window. And she sort of nervously looks back towards you. I feel like we haven't much time. These creatures, they want to bathe the obelisk in blood, and despite the damage it will cause, I feel like it is not its only purpose. Something bigger is at stake. I dream of this black stone. It's something the obelisk yearns for, but I do not know what it is.
We heard that in a dream. The three of us.
And there was a boy. He drew a picture.
Yes. Someone told me, an old friend of Henry and Jarrett's told me to worry about the boy and to worry about Blackstone. I do not know what it means.
Yes. He told us to save the boy.
I know no more than what I can help you with now, that this obelisk is powerful and dangerous, and we need to stop it, but I cannot fathom how we can do that. I know it was meant to be returned to Egypt. Dropping it in the sea was an option of mine, but I don't know what to do.
Come back to reality with us.
Yeah, I don't know if there's anything we can do from here.
It's very dangerous. We have to protect ourselves.
No, you're right. I was lost in this dream. I sat on this bed. You've woken me from it. Thank you. Thank you so much for coming for me. And as she says that, you can hear the crashing and creaking of metal against rock, and the attic again reels and screeches. It feels like you can feel it within you. Something is happening. And she sort of nervously looks around. How do we get out? And she looks towards you, Petra.
Out the window.
Okay. And she walks over and smashes the window, and you're greeted to a humid summer's day, and you can see the edge of the trees and a roof of a broken mansion and a car out front. And she looks towards you and says, do we just climb out?
I don't know. This is the first time I've ever been in a lucid dream with a stranger before, but I think maybe we just have to jump.
Okay. And she climbs out to the rooftop and holds a hand out for you, Cedric. Only you.
Cedric. Oh, Cedric follows.
And you step out again. The sweltering heat of the afternoon day touches your skin as you touch out onto the roof, and Yan and Petra, and you all look down to the floor below you, which again, the earthen floor is maybe 2 stories below you, and you can almost see the stones and the rocks and the trees shaking as you hear this loud screeching, creaking metal echoing all around.
Are you sure this is the right thing to do, Petra?
No, of course I'm not sure. I've never done this before, but I think so.
And Anna turns to you and says, I trust you. Let's jump. And she grabs your hand, and as she touches your hand, you can feel an energy sort of coursing through you, Petra. And
she grabs Jan's hand.
And Jan, same thing. You feel this sort of awakening. You can feel your eye opening, and actually, give me a power roll, everybody.
Sure.
Oh, yes. I have the power.
I got a success.
Oh my gosh. Both of you did.
Wow.
I got an extreme success.
I got a critical success.
Well,
extreme.
You guys are lucky. So that's just really funny. Okay.
We're so powerful.
Well, cut out that whole section of the game. So she looks at you and you each nod, and Anna nods, and you jump. And as you fall, the floor gives out below you. You see the sand and the stone and the earth fall beneath you. It almost breaks away below you, and you see the dribbling stone and dirt sort of cascade down as you fall down into the darkness. You hear the screeching of metal against stone. It becomes almost unbearable as you fall. And then you each feel the wind knocked from you, almost. You can feel your mind being ripped from the moment, sending your dream spinning. A whirlwind of gray and black fill your mind. You see the boy. You see the man in the small apartment. You see Anna, and then silence. Silence for a long time, and then a low, soft beeping. I don't think we're lost, dear, Neil says to his fiancée Jennifer as they round the dreary, wet corner of the long, winding seaside road they had been following for the past hour. The map says we're a few hours north of Arkham, and we are in fact a few hours north of Arkham, he says with a smile. The sky outside is dark. the early morning light still fighting against the night sky. Despite it being January, the snows have not yet reached this part of the coast, and as the two drive through the rain along the coastal highway, a fog begins to move in from the ocean. "Would you look at that?" Jennifer says as she moves the map down from her face. "What an odd fog." With a curious furrowed brow, Neil pulls to the side of the road and stops the car. "What are you doing?" she says, smiling. "I'm just curious," he says with a wink, and gets out of the car. She joins him, and as the two move to the side of the coastal highway, bundling up their coats against the cold January wind, overlooking the large beach that stretches from Innsmouth to the farm and fishing city of Leary, the fog moves in. It rolls in as if pouring smoke over water. Within, lightning flashes and a thunder rumbles deep across the sea. "I wonder why," is all Jennifer manages to say, before the massive bow of the Queen Mary cruise ship plows at full speed through the edge of the fog and crashes with thunderous might against the beach and seaside cliff of Leary, Massachusetts. Though most of those left alive aboard the Queen Mary survive the ship crashing into the shore, the fog that rolled in and around it would bring more than just foul weather. The fog would lock the city off from outsiders and visitors alike, a den of smoke and violence that would set the stage for the beginning of the end. And we're going to end there for tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, that is Call of Cthulhu Part 4. Next week is Part 5.
That was awesome. Are we even going to get to Egypt? Probably not.
It sounded like no.
No, you're definitely not. But I'm really excited for where this campaign is going to go. I think this was a really great little thing, and I'm really excited. You guys did fantastic. Well done.
Thank you.
So many. Sorry, go ahead, Rob.
Oh no, there was some definite chills. A couple of moments where
Totally.
Spooky. Well, I'm really this all three successful power rolls really derailed but railed things in a really great way. Like, it set you on a path in a really great way. But it's always unexpected when percentile dice that are pretty low, you guys get so well. So that ended really well because it sets us up for a really great next arc of this campaign, which is going to continue next week. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm so glad you guys got to hang out with us tonight. Endgame XP, who should we give it to?
Fucking Rin, for sure.
Give it to fucking Rin, yeah?
She's on top of it all night long, like 4 steps ahead of me for sure.
Yeah, she got all the little tidbits that I want her to get.
Come on, right?
Yeah, this is great.
It's Rin for sure. You got it, girl.
This is fun. Great job, Rin. Yeah, no, you're there. Fantastic job, Rin. You win XP. Get ready to spend it next week.
Money, 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 money.
Money. Yeah, that's it from us. Is there anything else we wanted to talk about before we go? It's 11. No,
I got nothing.
No, we're good.
Stay safe. Don't get murdered.
Stay safe. Don't get murdered. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for hanging out with us. This has been a blast as always. And as my good friend Justin always likes to say,
I gotta pee.
He's got to pee. Good night.